Good afternoon everybody, and I hope you're all well. I hope you're all really enjoying your PMDG 737 now it's been released. And today we're going to fly a couple of sectors. Two in fact. We're going to head out of Bodø and we're going to go up to Tromsø, which is a really nice payware scenery by MM Simulations. All the links are in the description down below, and we're then going to do a turnaround and we're going to head to the fantastic freeware Oslo ENGM scenery created by Coco Lada, which is all available on flightsim.to. And this one, Womby Actual, has created this particular little bit of scenery at Bodø. Really nice freeware, some of the best actually around Norway, created by Womby Actual. And here we are in the fantastic SAS Scandinavian Air Service livery of the PMDG 737-700. It's now being released. It's available now on on the PMDG website, pmdg.com. We're going to run through today's live stream almost as if a bit of a tutorial, if you like. Look at that. And we're going to sort of start cold and dark with GPU as the preset in the FMS. So if you are flying along, whether you're flying along offline or online on VATSIM throughout today's journey, then hopefully you have got my checklist. And I've actually put my checklist onto flightsim.to as well to make it easier. I've just updated it as well because I noticed a little duplication. So I fixed a little discrepancy, and there it is. So hopefully you're using that as we go along today throughout the journey, and we're going to be using Navigraph to discuss the charts and our departure routings and everything else as well. Aaron, you can't. I've removed the stairs though. Doc, I have no idea. It's been a weird 10 minutes here at Bodø watching aeroplanes skid through the terminals and things. Right, let's dive in. So we're cold and dark as we mentioned. I've just cleared away the stairs, so we've just got the jetty, and that is it. We've got the cold and dark GPU presets. So if we go to PMDG setup, you can see there startup state cold dark GPU. So that's how we're starting today. First things first. By the way, if you are tuning in for the first time, very warm welcome to you. It's great to have you with us. Please do hit the subscribe button down below, and throughout today's live stream as well. Don't forget to give us a little thumbs up as well. And we've got loads of new sounds, hence why I haven't kicked off with music to begin with. The trim wheel sounds amazing. Right, overhead panel. This is where we start the magic. Parking brake set, so use your keybind. You can hear it click in the background there. Here we go. Harry, hello. Looking forward to this stream. Going to set up along with you in my sim, and thanks for the checklist. You're most welcome. Denmark, hello. Thanks for subscribing. You can't pop any displays out, no. So, parking brake set, battery and standby power on. /auto, guard closed. 1, 2, and the standby power there. That's already got the guard closed. Look, happy days. Okay, battery discharge warning is on now as well, and we're going to set lights as required. We can put panel lights and things on as well if we want to make it a little easier. And then further up here, IRS left and right, 2 clicks across for both onto nav. And then we're going to work down this panel, make sure all these guards are down here. They should be by default, and we're going to make sure that is off. Yaw damper is off at the moment. We're going to make sure these are all showing normal and source is on auto, and we've got all the pumps off, crossfeed closed. That's the battery discharge warning light. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ground power on, and you can see now we've got on the right hand side we've got ground power generating some power for the aeroplane today, and actually now we've got all the lights, even more lights on, because the aeroplane has got sufficient power to run most of the systems for this. Dream Vega, hello, welcome. And I'll try and catch up, of course, with the live chat as we go. Hopefully doing this at a nice pace for you guys. Yeah, I don't know. I assume because it's Boeing. Good question though. Rightio. Where did we get? So IRS set to nav. There goes the displays. And then in here, FMC. Boss in it. And that top function there, click it. It will go into the scratch pad, set IRS position. And there we go. Hopefully that's your IRS aligned. Stephanie, welcome. Nice stuff. Good effort. We might as well fill this page out because we're already here. So we're going to go ENBO and then whatever stand you guys are in. Parked out at the moment. We are at stand 17, so we can put 17 in. You can see there's a slight difference in the coordinates, the position between the centre point of Bodø and gate 17. Okay. Warning lights and all that sort of stuff. We can do oxygen. Like so, and we can do system test for the ground proximity warning system. Rune Skog, welcome.
Glide slow. Pull up.
You can set your lights as required while we're doing this too.
Terrain. Pull up. Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
Happy days, happy with that. And then we can test some of the other functions. And stall warning. Effectively, you can just work through and do a number of different tests as you wish throughout the whole aeroplane. Okay. Back to the overhead panel then. We're going to go passenger seat signs, that button there, onto auto. And electric hydraulic pumps all on, so those 4 into the on position like so. We're going to turn the window heating on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually going to put the wing anti-ice on for a little while as well. On this occasion. Right. Fuel damper can go on. If the hydraulic systems here aren't quite pressurised enough, then you'll see that flick back up to the off position. So give it another couple of seconds and then try again, put it back to the on position. After then, fuel pump on. Low pressure warning light is extinguished. APU, 1 click to on, 2 clicks to start. And we're starting the APU. While that's doing that, we can go down to the FMS, turn our attention to this, and we can flick across to route. Now, I've already done a .RTE thing from SimBrief. Hopefully you guys might have done the same. So there we go, we're going to select Bodø to Tromsø, 178 nautical miles, and we're going to select. Tiny route, but it can take a little while. So there we go, when it's ready it will say load. And all this time the APU is firing up. There's our route, we can activate it, we just hit exec as well, and then we're going to put our flight number in. And for me today I am Scandinavian 4556 for this first route. Like so. And it's literally direct to Pixox and then Barvi, which actually are the transitions for the SIDS and the stars. So it's a very, very short route. But anyway, we now want to go to menu. FS actions, fuel. And for this leg, we want 5,216 kilograms. And our payload, let's find this on the SimBrief stuff. Passengers 119. Cargo 1.8. So I might do 1,000 front, 800 rear. And then we're going to take that zero fuel weight figure, 50.6 tons, and I'm going to compare it against what SimBrief gives me, which is only 50.2. So we'll do a bit more cargo tweaking to get a little bit closer. 50.4 is fine. We'll leave it at that. So 900 and 700 there. We hit return. So fuel payload done. All the doors are closed. And let's go back to the init ref. And at this stage, got all the perf init stuff to complete. So we've done all of our fuel and everything. And we can just hit perf init request. Eugene, welcome. Doc, hello. Who else we got in the live chat? Yoep, Doc, Fitzy, Alberto, David, Nerd. Welcome, folks. Great to have you with us today. Stephen, Willis, thank you very much for subscribing. Perf init uplink ready. Let's hit load. And we're going to just hit exec there. And our cost index is actually going to be 30 today. Finres, sort of fuel and things, which is our reserves. All we want to do is, for this particular sector, we want to do 1,865 kilograms plus 894, which will give us 2.76 tons. So we'll do 2.8, we'll round it up, like so. And then for cruise wind, for the weather today with live weather, average wind 230 at 23. So 230 at 23, like so. You can add that in there too. And our cruise, flight level 290, I believe. Got to try and find the transition altitude, 7,000 apparently on the charts. So we can finish this page like so, and we can just exec any changes. And at this point now, the APU should be nice and fired up. We can go back to the overhead, have a little look, and it's all stable, around about that 4,000 EGT. So APU gen off bus is illuminated. Press and hold for a second, 1 and 2, and you see the little warning lights extinguished there as well. And that's transferring the power from the GPU to the APU. Up here, we'll flick it across to APU gen, and you can see that the APU is now generating power. And we'll give it a minute before we then turn the APU to bleed. Whilst we're up here, let's set our cruise altitude, flight level 290, and our landing elevation at Tromsø. We're going to want the Barney 1 mic arrival, Barvey 1 mic arrival, airport elevation of 32. So one click, we'll do 50, like so. Let's get the AP on bleed, and we can put packs on auto, recirc fans on auto. We'll do passenger cabin up there as well. Right. Going to put this dome light onto bright for us, just to assist with a little bit of light outside, sort of conflicting with the views. And we're going to finish setting our FMC now. So, our runway at the moment is contaminated. If we go outside view, oh, look at the sound of that. Oh, now look at that for a view. The whole airfield is covered in snow. Let me just zoom out and spin around. Look at this. Look at the runway. So it's contaminated. It's dangerous. We need to get the right takeoff performance. Oh, he's floating. And for that, we're going to flick across to the N1 limits page. And actually, we're going to use Toga. We're just going to use max power, the engines, and then we're going to do climb profile 2 afterwards. So we're not going to use any derated takeoff. We want all the power the engines have got to get us up off that runway nice and quick. Takeoff page, we're going to use flaps 5 on our takeoff performance calculator. And our centre of gravity can go in there. And you can see it's not giving us any V-speeds. That's fine. That's because we haven't yet put our departure in. It's prompting us at the bottom there to do that. But on this second page, I'm just going to put in the runway winds, 100 degrees at 13 knots. And conditions, I'm going to select skid risk, SK-R. Then I'm going to set these to 1000 for our thrust reductions, and there's our throttle back to climb 2 profile. Doesn't let us do cutback, that's fine. And then departure, runway 07. Hickox 1 Alpha, departure like so, and there's no transition. So, exec. Now we're going to go straight into the arrival as well, so it's really good actually at this point if we go ENTC, ILS runway 18, we want the Barvey 1 mic arrival via non-RU. There it is, so on that second page there's non-RU hiding away, and you can see there that's what that looks like. So we hit exec on that too, and then we revert to the legs page. And if I move the screen across a little bit, oops, we're past the seat there. There we go. And then I'll bring you guys up the Navigraph screen. Going to pin that. This is Tromsø, by the way, so just bear with me for this. Going to pin all the charts that we require. Okay, here we are. So, we're going to taxi Whiskey Alpha down to Juliet. We're going to depart on this runway 07 straight out, heading as 072. We're going to set that on the MCP in a second. Hickox 1 Alpha departure, so after takeoff, at or above 2,000 feet, max 220 in the turn. We're going to head north to Ovbig, then Rjukan, then Aduta, then Hickox, up to flight level 290. You can see down here, the initial climb clearance is 7,000, so we're going to set that in the MCP as well. And that's pretty much it. We're going to keep it nice and simple. There's Hickox, and then a short while later we're on to Barvey, and then the Barvey Star, which is why we've selected that already. And during the climb up to Hickox, we're going to then already start planning and thinking about our arrival. And we'll go through that once we are airborne. So, now that we've done that, just going to check the overheads. Oh, that's fine. We're going to set 7,000. And then the runway heading. Oops, my bad. Which is 072. And now we need our IAS sort of speed selection to go in there as well, V2 plus 10. So back to the FMS, init ref, M1 limit. There's our profile set, back to the takeoff page, and because we've given it all the data that we need already, we're going to now have the 3 V speeds selected like so. There we go, V2 is 130, so plus 10, 140. If you like to do plus 20, set 150. Happy days. And then while we're up here, we're going to do QNH, which is 1000. There we go. Skyworker, good morning. Aussie Bandit's back. He's got the aeroplane, the 737, and is not disappointed. That's great to hear. Darren, could you explain what the transition altitude is, please? So, basically, when we cross, say for example the transition is 7,000, when we cross that altitude there and we go up beyond that, we go from the local QNH, which is 1,000 hectopascals here, and then we hit the standard button to go to standard pressure. When we're going through the transition level, we're going from above 7,000 through 7,000, and then at that point we reset back to the local QNH, and it's to make sure the aircraft are flying to the same altitudes and all that sort of stuff. So continuing with our checklists, we're going to make sure it says set FMC and obtain clearance on the bit that we're on at the moment, so that's all set. We've got the POS pages set and the route pages set as well with our relevant data, and you can see there we've got missed approach and everything in fact put in. There's our takeoff page configured, and our trim now needs to be set 6.1, so let's do that. Hear these sounds. Perfect, welcome aboard. Hopefully you have a similar trim figure, folks, if you are following along. That's about 6.1. Love those sounds, fantastic. And transponder set. So down here, we haven't got any ATC, so we're going to set 2000. We're going to make sure we're on Unicom because we are on VATSIM, so we're going to set 122.8 in absence of any controllers, and we'll put that into the active box as well. Now, before I move away from this section, I'm just going to check to make sure it's an RNAV departure, in fact, with no VORs or anything like that to assist us. So we shan't worry about those. And we'll just leave that set as it is as well. Fueling, loading and boarding is all complete, and we've got fuel there, 5.2 with enough plus the reserves, INRES and our diversion, and the takeoff data is set. Got our V2 plus 10 there too. Cabin, cruise altitude pressure panel up the top, flight level 290, which is our cruise, and our landing altitude for the pressure panel into Tromsø 50. Departure briefed and checked, we've already done it, and the flight directors now go on 1 and 2. Radio's frequency set. If you like to, you can do radio checks and things. Martin, yes, you can set range rings on the nav display. John, first landing coming up in Tromsø, fantastic. And we're ready for pushback, folks. Hopefully you are too. Anti-collision lights on. We're going to use the toolbar pushback mod to pre-plan our pushback now. Don't forget we need to remove the chocks in the FMC. So just going to let it load slowly. And then we're going to push back following this line. Like so. Look at this. We are almost ready. Let's request pushback.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Very cool. We've filled up Bodø as well. Alright. Fuel pumps 1, 2, 3 and 4 need to make sure they're on, and we're going to check the centre tanks, and we can see there that actually they're 0, so we just need those off. Hit menu. Hit FS actions, ground services, wheels, chocks removed. And if you click that, if you have anything else connected, like the ground power unit or the stairs or anything like that, at this stage, it will automatically remove everything else.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed. The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Mr. C, yes, this livery is included. So, engine start checks time. We're going to clear the master caution for the engine start to make sure that we don't have any other problems.
Start and push. Okay, cleared for push start.
Packs. We're going to remove. What have we got here? Turn the packs off. We're going to make sure the isolation valve is on. He's asked us to remove parking brake.
Brakes are released.
Bodø traffic Scandinavian 4556. Stand 17. Push start facing.
Will start in the sequence.
North east. Tromsø traffic. Ignition mode selector set both. And depending on what you've got now, you're going to either have these dials here say off or auto. I have auto because we have selected auto ignition in the FMC as a setup. We're going to flick it over to ground, and then we're going to look down here and we're going to monitor the N2, which, by the way, you might have up here instead. If you do, you can just click through the engine tab on the MFD section there to sort of cycle it around. Now at this point, about 23, 25, we're going to turn it to the on position. And for the first time I get to hear the actual startup sounds proper. How good does this livery look? Wow. Alright, so that's nice and stable. We're going to repeat the same for engine 1. And while that's all kicking off, we're going to start the SAS safety demonstration. Got a short taxi. Watching the N2. Phoenix 94, hello, welcome.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set
You
your
will
parking
find
brake.
a summary of the
Set.
information on the second board card in your seat.
Engine 1, fuel run switch to the on position. Run
Your
position, the
seat
fuel
belt
control
is
lever.
fastened and
You
open
may
like this,
disconnect.
and always keep it
Okay,
fastened
sir,
whenever the
clear to
seatbelt sign is
disconnect.
on, and we do recommend that you keep your belt fastened during the whole flight.
Have a good flight.
I'm going to set the nav display to 10, so we've got that little bit of a closer look here. Crazy Dan, yes, you're right there. Actually, exactly, yes. Pete Blythe Sims, welcome. Peter, good afternoon.
Secure your own mask first before helping others. You will find your life vest under your seat. Pull the vest over your head and pass the strap
Absolutely
around your
stunning,
waist.
this aeroplane is.
Fasten the buckle and tighten the strap. When leaving through the exit, you place the vest by pulling the
Alright,
tab.
so that's all
If the
flicked
vest
back.
is
We're now
more
going
or
to
less
go
air,
up to the
use the
overhead,
mouthpiece,
and we're going to
and
do
allow it to
gens
eliminate automatically when in
1,
contact with water.
Gen
The
2.
emergency exit in the aft, over the wings, and
We're going
the
to check the
front of
generating
cabin are
power.
all marked with exit signs and lights in the
And then we're going to
aisle
reset
guided
that to Gen
exit.
1.
Look for nearest exit as may be located right
In the overhead panel, sorry, probes go to the on position, and I'm actually going to put a bit of engine anti-ice on for the time being as well.
And if you need to open the overhead compartment during the
Until
flight, we ask you to
departure,
use the current
wing and
position
engine
to prevent
anti-ice
flight from
as
falling out.
required, and engine
Thank you,
bleeds
and we'll
1
reach
and
up
2
next
to the on
flight.
position. Packs set to auto,
Jag sammanfattar
Isolation
den
valve set
information som finns
auto.
på safety ombordkortet i stolstickan.
APU bleed off,
Bältet ska alltid vara fastspänt med skylten med
APU
säkerhetsbältet i tänd. Vi
off.
rekommenderar att du håller bältet
flaps as
fastspänt
required.
hela
So we're going to
resan
do
när
flaps
du
5.
sitter i
We're going to use the click spot today because I've not done that before, so we're going to find 5.
öppnas och maskerna blir då synliga. Flytvästen
Oh yeah,
finns
look at
under
that.
din stol. Våra nödutgångar bak, över vingarna och den främre delen av kabinen är alla märkta med
Elevator trim as required. We've done that, and flying controls full and free. So, system page. Full right, full left, fully forwards on the stick, and fully back. We're going to check the rudder as well, and actually what it does is it kind of helps the sim recalibrate your controls again, so your sensitivities and things will begin to reset. Engine instruments checked, and we're going to get rid of the system page now as well. LNAV and VNAV armed as required, so LNAV armed, VNAV armed, water throttle armed. And then request taxi. We're on Unicom, we don't need to, so we're going to go taxi lights on, water brake, RTO. Nikita, welcome. Oh, here we go. Grab a little screenshot. And where's my charts? Bodø traffic, Scandinavian 4556, taxi Hull Point Alpha, runway 07 via Whiskey and Alpha, Bodø traffic. Wonder if we're going to get any snow pickup. Those sounds. It's so great this is released now that you guys can all enjoy it as well. It's such a wonderful aeroplane, and PMDG have done a remarkably good job with it. Hear those sounds. This is one of my favourite liveries for the 737. Absolutely up there. And I'm hoping I'm not veering off the yellow line too much here, but I feel like I will be. So we're just going to zip back round, just sort out the drone camera, and we're going to try and find the yellow line, even though we can't really see it. There we go. Okay, and then through that we're going to check brakes, compass and gyro, which is what we've kind of just done there with the turns. Do a little chest to the brakes. Oh, Mr. V, been using the tutorials, find them really helpful. That's great to hear. Right, what have we got in the overhead panel? We're going to have a quick check of everything. Cool. APU's turned itself off. Oh, hello, welcome. Not sure what the others contain, Aaron, actually, to be totally honest with you. I feel like it might just be... the 800, unless there's an 800 variant which is a cargo version. Oh, look at that pea soup up there. But how good does she look? 85 likes already, guys. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying it so far. Bitsy, yeah, there are quite a lot of steps by comparison, but well worth persevering with it. It's a wonderful aeroplane. As we said at the start, super short leg today. Neil, absolutely, you make a good point there. This is the first aircraft where you actually do need to make sure you do a brake test, because it might fail if you have service base failures switched on like I do. Wesley, good evening, buddy. Welcome. Right, pre-departure checks time. So, fuel flow, this little button here, we're going to click it up. It's going to reset this little fuel used section here. V-speed's checked, 114 for V1, and rotate not long after that, 130 for V2, V2 plus 10, 140 is set in the MCP. MCP sets, and our radios and nav data all set as well. Our departure's been briefed, so we know what we have to expect. And as we're pretty much at the hold, we're going to go to the overhead panel. We're going to flick this button here across up to the position and strobe and steady light section. Taxi lights off, runway turn off lights on, and landing lights on. We're just going to bring the aeroplane to almost a stop, and then ding the crew with a double chime here as we then turn onto the hold point. Press the TFC button here where the cursor is.
Scandinavian 296 goes 13.
Down here, transponder all the way across to TARA.
Northwest.
Clock and runway confirmed. So 07. Wesley loves the emojis. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Look at that. As always, our screenshots today will go on to Volanta. And hopefully this little pause will have given you guys a bit more of a chance to catch up as well. We'll reset. Bodø traffic Scandinavian 4556, lining up runway 07 and taking off Hickox 1 Alpha departure. Bodø traffic. Kanga, you are most welcome, buddy. Hopefully you're finding the checklist really helpful as well. Clock. Let's click it. And we are ready. John's landed. Fantastic. Contaminated runway today, so this is going to be the most sporty departure that I've ever done in the 737. Okmania, welcome. Ron van der Sar, hello buddy. Let's use most of the runway. Look at that for contamination. Wow. So we're in line with the 7. We're going to start a nice tight turn. And we want as much of this runway as possible, really. We're going to use it up with the skid risk. Stick goes forwards. We're going to set 40% N1. Make sure you're comfy and you've got your seats and everything set. Your feet are comfy on the rudder pedals. Mister, there is a checklist, yes. Okay. Off the brakes, hit the toga button. Away we go. Toga toga.
Airspeed's alive.
Oh, look at this acceleration as well.
80 knots.
Oh,
V1.
rotate.
V2.
Oh, we didn't even need toga.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Look at that beautiful plane. Now we're going to have to jump back into the flight deck because I feel like we could be decelerating. We are. Okay. That's a bit better. Let's go to CMD engage. LNAV, VNAV, auto throttle armed. And away we go. After takeoff checks then, we don't get any rest here. Positive rate gear up, we've done that. So now we can turn the gear off because it's in and locked, all closed up. Oh, I hear those trim sounds, folks. Wow. CMD engage and auto brake is off. Engine start switches, if you had them on continuous, if you had the off button, then you'd have of course switched it back. And then flaps retract as appropriate. In fact, we're already at the flaps up speed, so let's get rid of those. Make sure we continue to sync our heading knob with our direction, and actually we're going to set more of an increase of a climb here. We're going to go straight up to 2980, which is our cruise for today. Flaps up, no green, and runway turn-off lights can now be turned off as well. Cabin pressure, we're going to check it's pressurising normally, and you can see it is there. And we can release the crew with a ding. Seatbelt signs as required, they can remain on auto, and actually I'd left engine anti-ice on by accident, whoopsie.
Bodø traffic Scandinavian 296, taxiing hold point Alpha via Whiskey, Bodø traffic.
I can't believe this is out now, it's fantastic. There's Bodø in the distance.
Pushing back stand 13.
Alright, we're going to pass transition altitude, so that's going to go amber in a second because it's going to tell us you've gone through transition. It's a couple of 100 feet buffer and then it will warn us. There you go. So we hit standard. Haha, Don, yes. If you're not used to it, it can certainly feel a bit uncomfortable, can't it? Right, what else? We're going to go through 10,000 now, so it's just landing lights on, and then we're thinking about cruise and descent. Bitsy, it's just a safety thing, I think. You just kind of, you know, if you ever have to get out of LNAV for whatever reason, if your heading bug is some random other place, then you're going to have to completely resync it, which is not necessarily ideal. You can download my checklist here. I've put it on flightsim.to, but it's also on our website along with all the tutorials pulled up together, britishavgeek.com/PMDG, so go check it out. Let's put the collar on to 10 just in case we do need heading mode. The engine sounds, Eugene, are fantastic, aren't they? And through 10,000, landing lights off, into the pea soup. Let's get some of these wing views. And we don't get much ability to sort of rest on this really short first leg. We've got 2 sectors today, the second one's a little longer. But this one we're already thinking about, as we did on the ground, we're going to have to land in a minute. We're going to get out of the SID, the departure, and then we're going to be straight in almost to the star. So we're going to have to think about that. So while we're enjoying the wing views, back on Navigraph, we can unpin the Bodø departure stuff. You can see our position there, heading up to Rjukan, then Aduta Peacocks. But actually, we're going to be into Barvi here, Barvi 1 Mike, Ulnik, BAM, and then non-route at or above 5,000, which is the clearance limit here. From there, we're going to go from non-route, there it is, 5,000 ogbod, and then you can see we want to be back SAS 4,500 feet. So non-route, ogbod, back SAS 4,500 feet for the glide slope in on the ILS runway 18, and it's a 4-degree glide slope. This actually, it's the longest one that I've had so far. There's our minimums, Cat C. We're going to do 322 in the box. And we're going to make sure we've got the nav data all tuned in here. We've got a couple of other things as well, like the NDB Pulse and NDB 362, which we can tune into ADF1 as well. So, look at that, wow. How remarkable does this look?
Traffic scan 296, lining up, runway 7.
Waffle, hello buddy. Alrighty, so let's do a quick sit rep. 10,000 feet to go. Ronnie, hello, fantastic. Right, there's Ruxon, let's increase this. So we're going to go straight into a couple of things here. We're going to hit the descent page, top of descent in 97 nautical miles. We're going to be on that so fast. So transition, I'm going to do 8,000. Sent RINs request. We did the .wx file that I've done on a tutorial showing you how to import some of the data from SimBrief. So we're going to click request now. There's our top of climb marker. Takes a little bit to load. There it is, let's load it in. And our QNH, so we're already thinking about getting our METAR ready for Tromsø. So that is variable at 2 knots, all the 9s, light showers and rain, dew clouds 1,100, broken 2,400, temperatures +6 and dew points +4. Let's execute the descent forecast, the QNH 1,000, so we're going to add that in, like so. And we've already done the arrival into Tromsø, which is fine. Down here then, we want to make sure that we've got the standby instruments set for nav1 and nav2 for the ILS, so 109.9 on both. I'm actually going to click them across a second as well, and in nav2 I'm going to select the Tromsø VOR 1138. And I'm going to put that into the active box. Then down here for the ADF, we mentioned a minute ago the NDB that we can track, Valsund 362. We're going to do that and transfer it into the active. So, we can now track ADF1, which would be blue, it's out of range at the moment, and VOR2, which is Tromsø 1138, which is still out of range a little bit. We can also add some fixed rings. So we're going to base it upon the Tromsø VOR, I think, and we're going to set a 5-mile fixed ring and a 10-mile fixed ring. So in fix, TRO, you can see there VOR DME Tromsø, perfect, that's what we want, and it matches the frequency. And we're going to go /5, and we're going to go /10. You can add another one if you want to as well. You can add a 20-mile fixed ring, but the 10-mile fixed ring should be just before Baxis, so we know we want to be at 4,500 feet at that point. In the legs page, we're going to check that data against the charts. So non-RU 5,000 alpha, ogbod 5,000 alpha, which means at or above. And actually, I'm going to set 5,000 exactly on ogbod, like so. Altitude C chord, that's because we're 1,000 below, so we're almost at cruise. If we want to do a speed constraint here as well, we can do 180, and I might put 5,000 in as well, just as a done like a double constraint there. So I'm actually putting a manual speed constraint of 180 knots in at Ogbod. At that point we're going to be looking to establish on the ILS. So 180 knots is a nice speed. And then we've got our missed approach data there too. So descent, top of descent 66 miles. We've got the VOR's, the ILS set 109.9. That's inactive for nav 1 already. And 109.9, which is standby in nav 2. We're tracking ADF 1. Now we need to set the courses as well. So we need 183 set in both of these for runway 18 to Tromsø. (183) and our minimums need to be set. So as we mentioned before, 322 because we're a category C aircraft. There we go, in the PFD there you can see it's selected. Now we want to make sure QNH 1000 is set in the standby instruments as well, so if we scroll the wheel you can see we've now armed that in the standby box too, and there's our top of descent in about 50 miles, so we're almost on it. But in the meantime, we've got a couple of seconds. Look how busy this sector is, folks, wow. Sorry for neglecting the live chat a little bit. It is super busy, and we've got to fly the plane. So who so far has got the 737 and who's enjoying it? What routes have you done, and have you had any sort of spectacular failures as you've been learning the aeroplane? Failures are fine. You know, we're learning the plane as we go, and like I did, started at 0 hours. You've got to start somewhere, don't you? Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely fabulous. We're literally cloud surfing at the moment. How stunning. So Barvielnik, Bami, and then Nonru. We've got the transition set at 8,000. And then we want our takeoff landing calculations. So I'm using VAS Airplane Toolbox, and if you've got the same weights and everything like that as well, then you're probably going to want the same sort of settings. So it's calculating, saying that we want flaps 30, approach speed about 133 knots, and auto brake 3 because of a contaminated runway as well. So we're going to want auto brakes 3 and reverse on both engines too. So top of descent coming up, we're going to want to go down to 5,000, and we're already now thinking about our descent checks on our checklist, which is here. So arrival and weather data obtained and set. We've already set the approach in, which is the Barvi 1 mic arrival, the ILS runway 18 via Nonru. Destination weather is obtained. We've just spoke through the METAR a minute ago, and there's also remarks of a 2,600 foot wind at 170 at 12, and some temporary broken cloud at 1,200 feet. Landing altitude set. The takeoff performance calculator is giving us a landing calculation to say that we need the landing altitude at 50, which is what we've already set, which is good. And radio set. Lock, ILS frequency and courses are all set too. Wing and engine anti-ice as required. We're actually going to put them on. And MCP set. So we're going to hit down to do 16 first. We'll just monitor the progress as we go. We'll do 12. Do 11,000 feet. Like to change things on the fly. And in effect, we're going to want a continuous descent down to about 5,000. Altimeter's been set, minimums are set, and approach has been briefed. Auto brake set as required. Auto brake 3. We're going to check there's no warning light illuminates there to say that it's in-op or anything like that. And then in a second, we're going to hit the top of descent, and we're going to head on down. One thing left to do. Cobus, where do we get the calculator? Just type into Google VAS Airplane Toolbox. It's on the X-Plane forum. One thing left to do for this. Init ref, index, approach, and then we're going to select the configuration that we want for our approach. So depending on what you're going to be doing, if you want a flaps 40, select that one. My calculator is saying flap 30, and we're going to select it, and then we're going to put it into that box there. You click it, it'll appear in the scratch pad, and then click that button, fourth button on the right down, and it'll add it in like so. And we might need to refresh that further into the star. We'll monitor it as we go. And we can see our VNAV path there as well. What a beautiful aeroplane this is, eh? Get some of these fantastic views. And by the way, now the cabin views, if I spin around to the right, come with a cabin. The M1 button didn't work for me when pressing it for takeoff. Is that normal? So you don't want to click N1. You want to make sure you got auto throttle armed, and you want to press the little screw next to it, and that's the toga click spot. Oh, David, fantastic. That's a proper journey that you're going to be doing then. So after this, we're going to do a turnaround. We're going to explore the new Simulations Tromsø scenery, though it's been out for a little while now. And we're then going to head down to Oslo Gardermoen with a beautiful updated freeware scenery by Kokolada, or Hergy1234 I think his username is on flightsim.to. Look at that. There's something remarkable about how it looks with this livery, isn't there? Right, back into the flight deck. Here comes top of descent. Any second. Ashley, hello. Many tests. Blackness, welcome. I'm now going to actually load in my next leg on SimBrief and get it pre-filed just before we head down. So you can see now it says throttle retard. We've hit top of descent, and you can see the throttles, well, the engine's spooling back as well. Bit of a trim noise there too. Yeah, that's our next leg pre-filed. And if you do like to use things like this descent path thing, you can sort of use that and enjoy that too. Use all the different modes to sort of your own liking, I guess. We'll keep this. We'll set 5,000 now. We'll just see what happens on our little banana. JP, welcome aboard. Thank you. Subscribing to the channel. Great to have you with us. Right, now down we go. We're about to go into the cloud as well. There we go. So we're going to make sure we've got things like wing and engine anti-ice switched on. Make sure definitely the probe heats are all on and the windshield heats are on. And actually now you can see the aeroplane is slowly starting to depressurise as well, which is quite nice. So like we did on departure, we're checking that it's pressurising normally. We want to make sure that it's also depressurising normally too. Wayne, cheers buddy. Neil, I hope so, yeah. I think it will. Iggy, welcome on board, thanks for subscribing. Axel, yes, good grief. You know what, I'd literally just been saying to people, make sure you reset your heading. I was getting sidetracked doing other stuff. This is why we need a co-pilot, thank you very much. How are the frames compared to the fly-by-wire A32NX? This is my smoothest aeroplane. Yeah, millions of people have, lots of people have asked, maybe not millions, but yeah, it's my best performing aeroplane in the sim. It's the most stable and the smoothest. Yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible what they've been able to do with this. Right, approach briefed. So, by a non-route at 5,000, we're going to establish for the ILS runway 18 approach. We're going to intercept the glide slope at about 4,500 feet, and then we're going to fly the course of 183 degrees. The ILS down to our minimums of 322 feet, at which point hopefully I'd like to think we've got visual of the runway. If not, or for whatever reason we need to go around, we're going to climb straight ahead to 3,000. Going to make this little 3,000 feet, missed approach, or 7.7 DMETR, whichever's earlier. Turn right, max 160 knots to intercept and proceed on a 010 degree radial to the KV lock centre. Climb to 5,000 feet and hold. Do not turn before the missed approach point. Seems simple enough, he says. Tech team, Ruben, yeah indeed, it's crazy how far Microsoft Flight Simulator has come, isn't it? Okay, let's lower this down to about 40 now. We're going to monitor everything as we go, and actually our VNAV looks to be quite nice with a rate of descent here as we make our way through. We're completely IMC as well through this. And in fact I'm going to now turn terrain mode on because I did forget that earlier, but it's certainly through this as we're descending through. On the charts there are a lot of peaks around 3, 4, 5,000 feet, and it's going to tell us here, not only map them, but it's going to tell us what the highest peaks are around us. Boom. Why is the gear in the middle position? It's because so you retract them, goes to up, all the lights go away, the doors underneath close in the belly, seal up the wheels and things, and then we need to turn the hydraulic systems off, otherwise it will just continuously keep trying to pull the gear up, which is not what we want. So for this we then move it down one into the central off position, which then isolates the hydraulics basically, in a nutshell. Tromsø traffic, Scandinavian 4556, with a QNH 1000 hectopascals, inbound on the RV1 mic arrival, expecting ILS runway 18. Overhead Ulnik, descending flight level 170. Ace Taste, welcome. So we're just monitoring everything as we go. We don't want to muck about or anything like that, and it's telling us now in the FMS bottom of the scratch pad, it's saying you're going to need drag. See, that's because that banana is fluctuating a little bit. There's 6 miles between Nonru and Ogbod. So with that in mind, I'm actually quite happy with that. Not really needing drag just yet. We'll see how we go as we get closer towards 10,000 feet. And now we're... hear the rain. Ace Taste's got his verification code. Fantastic. This is why, for this leg, I've skipped the music. Sounds are just exceptional. Oh, little gap we can see just below there. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Santer, hello to you. Welcome. Bring the range rings in. Actually, it's telling us now that we're going to be at 5,000 just before Nonru, so that's working out pretty nice for us. Maybe a little drag as we go through 10,000. Ryan, good afternoon, buddy. Look at this for mountains. Wow. Is there an open climb mode on the 737, Celez asking? No, not really. It's more VNAV that will control it all for you. However, if you check out the website, britishAvGeek.com/PMDG737, you'll find a number of tutorials to help you get started from 0 hours, as I did, nice and confidently, so you can get used to flying the aeroplane, learn all its little tips and tricks, and get you started with ease. Right, back into the flight deck because we are a bit busy, and sometimes it will tell you again, drag required, again, because speed, as Doc is saying, a little bit above that little purple target. So for this now, we'll activate spoilers into that flight detent section, and again, PMDG have added click spots, so you can just click it there, and it will push it straight through to flight detent. Simulations, welcome. How are you? There we go, and that's pulled it back a little bit, and actually I'm going to leave it in flight detent for a little while, just so we get through 10,000. Actually that'll do. We'll close it, we'll get rid of them. Got to remember that we've got all of our icing still switched on. Double ding for the crew because we're about 10 minutes from landing. I'm going to bring the range ring in again to 20. Bammy. Betly, yes, I've shared a SimBrief link on Discord. On a couple of Discord servers actually. So through 10,000 feet, landing lights on, runway turn lights, turn off lights on. Continuing through the checklist, cabin and seatbelt signs as required. So we've already done the double ding, and in fact now we can put seatbelt signs properly on. We use a little bit more drag. The aeroplane wants to slow down below 10,000 to below 250 knots. Now at any point, if we want to increase or go into speed intervention modes or anything like that, then we can. And we know the speed brake's armed without having to look down there, because we've got the little light telling us that there. (183), some final checks to make sure we've got the correct data set, and 1099, we're going to flick that across. So now we've got the ILS frequency set in both nav1 and nav2 active. How cool is this? This is some proper pea soup. Get rid of the spoilers. Beautiful animation there. going to go speed intervention here. I'm just going to set 220, sorry. We're going to cross through transition, so let's bear in mind we put it in the standby bit there. We're now going to flick it to the local pressure, and you can see, because we're only 1,000 hectopascals QNH, there's about 1,000 foot difference almost in our altitude against mean sea level pressure here in Tromsø. So now all we've got to do is our approach checks on the checklist. Nav course frequency check, we've just done that as well, just as a double check. We'll check it again because I guess we don't want to miss any of those. Speeds are in limits, and we're going to then start working to retract or extend the flaps in a second. If you're not sure, have a look there and you can see the landing gear extension speed limits, retraction speed limits, flap limits as well. So you can see all the different flap limits. So actually we're in limits to flaps 5 at the moment. So we're going to go flaps 5. And I'm going to set 180. I'm going to put this MCP down to 4,500 now. Oh, John, not sure. You could always plug in your own bits, I suppose, your own route and things. Keep smashing that like button while you're here, folks, as well. And if you are new, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to get your hands on any of the scenery that we've seen today, those noises, please do check the description in the live stream. Tromsø traffic Scandinavian 4556 passing Nomru inbound for the ILS runway 18 will report established Tromsø traffic. Get the collar back round, and actually we want 183. I'm going to set 183. 153 will do us for 30 degrees. Levelling off at 5,000 to meet the constraints. I'm going to bring that in a little bit more. God, this is proper murky weather, isn't it? Look at this. This is fantastic. What a way to test the aeroplane. 2.5 miles. And just as a final check, we're going to go into here, look, and you can see that the speeds are correct. 129 for approach still, so 134 for approach. I'm going to put heading select on. We're going to arm approach mode. We've got glide slope indications now as well. Flaps 10. CMDB engage. Jeff wants to see a P-soup approach to minimums. Let's hope. I think we might end up getting that, to be honest. Right, so speed brake. Down here. Make sure it's in the armed position. Check the auto brake set. We've got auto brake 3. Glide slope's going to be alive. Although we haven't got any. There's the vertical guidance there. Still nice and above. Nice and below, rather. Z-Man, I shall show you it shortly once we get down on the ground. Okay, well, the rest goes on once the glide slope's alive. Look at this, absolutely stunning. sounds wonderful. It really is nice. I mean, basically it's a backup. If CMD-A fails, CMD-B will take over. So we don't have any problems on the ILS. We're going to reset this to 183. Follow our runway course, and we're going to now set the MCP to 5,000. Tromsø traffic Scandinavian 4556 established, 11 miles to land, ILS runway 18, Tromsø traffic. Got a little while to go, we'll hold 170 for now. There's the glide slope, it's now active, it's gone in the box. Jay can't see anything either, he's flying the same approach offline, look at that. How awesome. Command A, Command B. Okay, well let's go gear down. We're about 10 miles. And that's going to help with drag as well. There's the three red, sorry. Look at those for animations too. Proper pea soup going on here today. Okay, we're going to go flaps 15. And we're going to go 160 till 4. Engine 1, 2 start modes. We're going to put them both in continuous due to the icing, though that was just accidentally flicked across 2 to flight. Flaps 25. Almost on overspeed territory there. It's actually now let's go to 134 for our approach speeds. Go around altitude is set 5,000. Autopilot throttle as required as well at the moment, and landing gears confirmed down. 7 miles. Lap 30. Where is it? Look at that. Beautiful. How cool is this? Can't see anything yet. We've still got a few thousand before minimums. There's the outer marker chimes. Get the engine anti-ice off for now. Wing anti-ice on. Okay. simulations Tromsø. There's the approach lights now just coming into view, and don't forget this is a 4-degree glide slope angle as well. Gotta get a nice screenshot through this. Absolutely spectacular. Right. Do the wipers work, Chucky McDuck? Yes, they do.
1,000.
You notice the wiper's in a different position now too. Okay, this is the steepest glide slope I've done so far. Let's hand fly it. And we'll do auto throttle off. We'll reset that, warning 2. A little bit of retrim. This is quite a steep approach. A little bit more power.
500. 400.
Keep smashing that like button, folks.
Approaching minimums.
Okay, well, stable. We'll continue.
300 minimums. 200. 100. 50.
This
Light
for
slope.
runway contamination.
10.
Hold the flare. Reverse. Green. Nose wheels down and we're decelerating. Careful for any skids. Nice firm landing, but that is important on icing conditions as well. Holding the centre line. And we're not going to get off at Bravo just because of the conditions here. go for Alpha. Also traffic, Scandinavian 4556 vacated at Alpha, and taxi to stand 22 via Bravo, well, correction, Alpha and Yankee. Alright, after landing checks. Flaps up, spoilers retract. Going to come to a little bit of a slow crawl here. So after landing checks, flaps up, speed brake, retract transponder as required. Put it back on towards standby. Boss lights. This one down to steady. Landing runway turn lights off. Taxi lights on. And landing lights off. APU start. Make sure the aft fuel pump is on. Start the APU. Anti-ice as required. We'll leave the wing anti-ice on, might as well. I might put a bit of engine anti-ice on as well. And probe heats off. Engine start switches. Continue a little crawl across back to the auto position, and auto brake we can reset off. Look at that, we use most of the runway there, and we'll put a bit of wipers on, shall we? Intermittent. Yeah, the ice is a little bit overdone, isn't it? The snow and things, a little bit OTT here, as it was at Bodø. Oh, hello. There's another PMDG 737 pilot. Should probably check to see what stand I'm going to, actually. That would help, wouldn't it? Parking stands, gate 22. Here somewhere. There's 18. Well, to be fair, that was on low. There's fast. But I mean, wipers, I very rarely use them, to be honest. Ronald, isn't possible to open the window, no. Do we get an aircraft manual when we purchase the 737? So, not as much. There's checklists that I've created. It's available on flightsim.to. There is an instruction booklet full of pages in the PMDG package when you do purchase the scenery. Correction, the add-on, the aircraft, the 737. It will tell you a lot of the functions that the aeroplane has. Christopher's tripping out. We've triggered him. Let's get the wing anti-ice off then.
Tromsø traffic, Scandinavian 4417 radio check.
Readability 5.
Readability 5, thanks a lot.
21. Stand 22 is there.
I'll be pushing back once the traffic on the taxiway clears for runway 18 departure.
There it is, right in front of the terminal.
Also traffic.
So, taxi lights off, and we shall turn in. We've got another leg to do now. While we turn in as well, we can see the APU is all fired up. Let's get the gens on. Trying to find and maintain that little yellow line. To make you feel better, Christopher, this guy's not going to get burnt. A little bit of a skid there. With every dollar boom, exactly. Eric, yes. Head to our website, britishavgeek.com, and then if you scroll through the tutorials tab, you'll see a PMDG 737 section. I'm going to come right down to a crawl here, because at this point now I want to actually lead the APU. And I want to make sure that we have got enough room to get through. Look at that, precision parking. Beautiful. Clear the master caution. Bar brake on. And it's going to be shutdown checks now. So fuel control levers 1 and 2 off. Set domestic caution. Anti-collision lights off. Ground equipment can go in position and fuel pumps as required. So we'll turn these ones off. Turn the engine bleeds off. We'll open the isolation valve. And turn the flight directors off. 1 and 2. Okay, to the FMC then. Menu, FS actions, ground services, wheel chocks set. Engine inhibit because we've still got a little bit on the M1. Once that goes, there we go, to 0.2, it'll actually allow you now to request the loaders and things. In fact, all I want at the moment is the fuel truck. There we go.
Osprey 117.
I'll do the rest
for
bar another mode.
18 for Oslo traffic.
Right. While the fuel truck turns up, there's the little PMDG fuel mobile.
Sorry, Tromsø traffic.
We shall scoot round and have a little look at this Tromsø scenery from simulations. Here we go.
Tromsø traffic, Osprey 722 on final 12 mile, Tromsø traffic.
Look at that. Glass textures are lovely. A couple of people mucking around outside. I see some of the flags and things waving around as well. Ryan saying, are there any hotels? We'll have a look in a sec. Not sure. It's the first time I've ever looked at this scenery. Get yourself some lovely reindeer pizza for 130 krona. Oh, look at this. Mr. Swedish Moto getting extreme stutters here. Yeah, I've noticed a couple of frame stutters, like the one that I've just got then. ATC's online for Oslo, awesome. Here's the sort of main check-in area. Got vehicle rental section, stairs up into security, and in fact we can see me, peekaboo. Actually that's not me, it's someone else. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. I wish with snow, even the runways remained clear. They tend to be very good at doing that as well here. Mike Smart, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. What do you guys think? It's very nice, isn't it? Another bit of baggage belt stuff. Wildro, Norwegian. And some nice Avenel baggage trolleys. Somebody asked about hotels. Let's just bust outside, have a look, see what's on the exterior.
We'll be taxiing to runway 18 via Yankee, holding short at
petrol station, car parking
Echo
section.
for the incoming Osprey. Tromsø traffic.
And there's a sort of baggage area / maintenance. Over on the other side of the airfield, looks like we've got, I shan't go over there too much, but there's a retail park over there by the looks of it, which is really nice. Oh, Staples. Weather radar's never worked. Game. Sobo need to release it, basically. Usual track, Ryan, of course. There's a Tesla Centre. Cargo facility. I haven't seen any hotels yet. Hey, hello. A nice livery you've got down there. Got your Hertz rent-a-car. I'm not sure what build trend is. Look at that bridge. That's got to be part of the scenery as well, right? Nice little windsock on the top. When Asobo do release the weather API though, game, PMDG and a lot of other developers like Fly-by-Wire and everyone else will be able to put in their own weather radars and all that sort of stuff, basically, to sort of create exactly what they were hoping to create for the add-ons. No hotels then. Hanman, the playlist, it's Stream Beats. Here's the control tower. In fact, I can see somebody moving around inside the glass already, which is quite cool. Joris, no replays, sadly. Since Sim Update 9, a lot of the replay functionality that I've been using, like Sky Dolly, have caused me a fair bit of problems. Yeah, so snow, that's a big one. Snow MM simulations would probably be worth creating some more exclusions around the snow on the runway, because that's a bit well, it's vastly OTT. But apart from that, the scenery itself looks very nice. I've been noticing a couple of little stutters and things with performance. Oh, here's an Osprey inbound. There's the control tower workers. Let's pop in and watch the landing through the tower, shall we? There we go. Jeff, we're going to be doing another leg to Oslo.
Osprey 117 holding short of runway 18 has traffic inside. We'll be lining up behind.
No changes to sensitivities or anything, just as it was. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Beautiful touchdown. Yeah, the runway looks a bit disappointing, doesn't it? It could do with... bearing in mind, this is the most expensive MM simulation scenery. With tax, it's almost 20 quid, which is quite a lot for Microsoft Flight Simulator scenery these days. With tax added in. That little tiny strip around the centre line isn't really that acceptable. I think it needs to be a proper cleared runway. I mean, even the apron just looks ridiculous, doesn't it? Because it wouldn't necessarily look like that. Certainly on the METAR on the TAF at the moment, it doesn't suggest there's this much snow, so I think some exclusions and some other bits, a bit of developer magic would certainly work wonders for this. The terminal, textures around the terminal, and the animations, absolutely sublime. Beautiful. Look at that. Tower looks really good, David, doesn't it? Very nice indeed. Sobo needs to fix the frozen sea. They certainly do, don't they? Coyote, it is Tromsø by MM Simulations. Very, very nice. As you guys can see here, look at that. There's our little PMDG fuel truck, parked up, ready to go. So let's dive in. Turn the terrain radar off as well. We need... Where is it? 7,256 kilograms of fuel. So call it 7,275. We've got the APU on. We're going to start refueling. And in there, we can crack on with that. We can add in the fuel. Actually, it's already loading that in now itself, sorry. So payload. Passengers 138. Oslo's a place to be. Cargo 2.1. Giving us a zero fuel weight of only 52.1. So that'll do. 81.4% load level at the moment. According to that, we want to go init ref.
Tromsø traffic, Osprey 117, taking off runway 18.
Tromsø to Gardermoen. Select.
Tromsø traffic, traffic, Osprey 722. Apologies, I didn't call the clear runway.
Scanning 182, exit please start the time start from that 198 north of that.
Call sign for the second leg, Scandinavian 6-4 Papa. And I'm actually going to reconnect now. 6-4 Papa on VATSIM. And I cruise this time, flight level 380. So that's the VATSIM side of things done. Whilst the route was inputting, we can activate it, hit exec, and we're going to go SAS 6-4 Papa. There's our route. Amimo's Zulu 156 to Gubav, Zulu 101 to Tutbi, Mike 609 to Belgu, and then Star. Right. So departures from Tromsø, we want runway 18 still, and we're going to be doing the Amima 3 Bravo departure. Like so, and in the legs page then we can just go through, check on your charts to make sure it's all correct.
Osprey 117, I'm clear and airborne.
And we're still
climbing through
refueling, look.
4,000
So we can't do anything
in
else
the southerly
here
direction,
yet.
Clear of runway 18.
But what we can do is go to the overhead panel. Look at that for an interior, guys. Wow, that's spectacular. If we go up here, we can do the cruise altitude, which is 380. And we can reset whilst we're refueling all of the other stuff as well. Sort of, you know, reset Volanta. We start a new flight on Volanta. Make sure we've got our landing rate monitor done as well and ready to go. And pull in our new route for Navigraph. What are we doing? Amima 3 Bravo. That's the departure. Initial climb clearance flight level 9 and 0, so let's set that. And the landing elevation in Oslo, 681. So we'll see what our landing calculator gives us. It might tell us to use 700 instead, so we'll select 700. We'll see what happens. Travis and Ken Tandry, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing. Doc, the first short leg was perfect for a live tutorial. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed it. Right, let's check out this index. Where were we? Sorry, menu, FS actions, ground services, and we're going to check here. Look at that, we've just finished refueling. So now we can release the fuel truck. He's going to detach and drive away. And we've just stayed on APU. We've done passengers via all the other different sort of functions. And now we can do our perf init page. Commentator, good afternoon. Apparently I work for KLM now, nice stuff. Yes, top bar, thank you, Dwal. ENGM this time. 6-4 Papa. So we've done Navigraph. Need to just reset our VAS toolbox. We'll load in this new stuff from Simbury for our calculations on our VAS airplane toolbox calculator. Runway condition contaminated. Let's calculate our takeoff performance. Available tour of 2392 is too short for flaps 5. So we're going to go optimum, hit calculate. And it's telling us we need flaps 10 for this departure. And toga. Right, we're going to hit exec, cost index 30, and we're going to work through this as we did beforehand as well. So, where's our fuel loads? 2.5 this time. 7,000. And our cruise wind, 226 at 43. Flight level 380, and that's set. It goes. M1 limits. Takeoff 24K, that's what we're going to select, and we'll do climb profile 2.
Local traffic scanning 192X with speed taxi down for Echo for 1118 by Yankee local traffic.
And we want dot meta ENTC Tromsø, winds 0206. And we're going to make sure that we've selected skid risk there. There's our V-speeds. Boss, we need to refresh this. We're going to go ENTC, and we're now at gate 22. There we are. That's set. That's set. We can look through the legs, and that's all looking really good. Up to Belgu, which is then the start of the star. Flying flight level 380, cruise flight level 380. And our M1 limits are all complete as well. So, into the checklist once again. And most of it's already done. We've done all of our pre-flight further up at the beginning when we left Bodø. So, window heat. All of this is done, the RS is aligned, and we've got everything up to the APU being on bleed. The FMC is set, and the altimeter is set as well. Initial clearance of 9,000, and we want to make sure we have our runway heading set of 183, which is actually what we've already set for our arrival in. V-speeds 129, 139 this time for V2 plus 10. Fueling, loading, boarding complete, takeoff data set, and the cruise altitude, pressure and landing pressure set, MCP set, departure briefed. What I'm going to do is just click this button here. Hopefully we get, there he is, old Tuggy McTugface to appear. And how many have we got flying along today, do we know? We'll have another peek into the terminal. Let's see, let's go this way. Bust through the glass. Got a bit of ticket presentation there. It's a Scandinavian gate. Oh, it's going to Bodø. What are the chances? We've just come from there. If only we were doing this the other way around, that'd be brilliant. There's that frosty glass. Really nice scenery, isn't it? A little bit iffy with some stutters here and there. It's always difficult to work out what the cause of that is in Microsoft Flight Simulator, in fairness. Thing is, flying around Norway, around this part of the world in Microsoft Flight Simulator is always really fun. Now we've got such an amazing aircraft add-on with the PMDG 737, it just brings this whole new level of immersion and sort of dynamic to the sort of simulator, and it's really, really nice. Alright, we've not bothered about the jetty because the jetties at the moment seem to jinx me somewhat, so I tend to leave them alone. Some sceneries I get crashed to desktops with them and stuff like that. So, how are we doing in the live chat? Automated, good morning. Don't forget to reset the top bar, done that. Ded was asking a little earlier on, is the 737 more enjoyable than the A32NX, and which will be your main go-to aircraft? This, hands down, absolutely. It's exceptionally good fun. It's really in depth. Well, yeah, it's relatively smooth indeed compared to some. In fact, the Oslo that we're about to fly into, I've not flown into it for a while, and it's now got a really highly detailed interior. That's going to be interesting for us, because I don't know how that's going to perform. Landing rate monitor, we need to reset that on the map, on the route plan. Let's pull the new data in. Happy days. And that is as set as we're going to have it, I think. Back to the checklist, and while we'll have a quick look, we're going to set our pushback pre-plan. Flightsim.to for this toolbar pushback mod. We're going to go all the way back, and then we're going to... Where's the centre line? It's that one. Good. So, happy days. We are, that'll do. Back in, yes, freeware Oslo by Kokolada, or Hergy1234 I think his name is on that actually. Okay, there we go. Flight directions need to go on. 1 and 2 reset. Radio's frequencies set. Departure briefed, so we're going to bring up Navigraph now and I'll talk you guys through what we're going to do for takeoff. So there we are at the main terminal here at beautiful Tromsø, simulations, payware scenery. We're going to push start facing north, and we're going to head up towards runway 18 via Bravo. Yankee and Echo, sorry. Yankee Echo, then we're going to have to do a bit of backtrack to 18, just up to the threshold here for our takeoff. 2,451 metre runway, but it tells us here the usable length is all here. Takeoff run available from the runway head, 2,395 metres. After takeoff, we're going to fly runway heading. Initially 183. Max 230 knots for that TC 700 doesn't apply to us. That's the Roscoe 4 Bravo departure only. We're not doing that. We're going to go 183 degrees runway heading to TC 707. Then 198 degrees Amimo 3 Bravo departure to Iptuk. Then Camp T. And then away to Amimo, and away we go. Initial climb clearance, flight level 9 standard pressure on 9,000 feet, QNH 1013. And then we're going to continue climbing up through our cruise of flight level 380 today. And that is the transition out of the SID there. From there we're going to head pretty much past Bodø again, all the way down to Oslo. And there's our bit of a quirky star that we're going to have a little look at as we get closer. And we'll refresh the weather data and everything else as we do get closer to make sure that we've got the correct SID stars. Make sure that we've also got the correct runway in use as well. MCP, that is Navigraph. Navigraph Ultimate subscription. The annual version is a really good one I can recommend. Final refresh of the METAR, ENTC. QNH still 1000. 2,000 foot winds, 180 at 13. Alright, doors closed. We go menus, FS actions, ground services. We've got no steps, no doors, no loaders, fuel is clear. We can remove the chocks now, and we're going to set the toolbar pushback in action. There he goes.
This is ground. Stand by.
Alright, anti-collision lights on. Number 202. Josh, hello. Engine start checks then for pushback once we've got all the ground equipment in place here. Tromsø traffic, Scandinavian 64 Papa, Boeing 737-700, stand 22, push start facing north. David, I know, crazy isn't it? I used to always use, what was it called?
Okay, sir. The
Chart
bypass
Fox.
pin is installed. All
Religiously
doors and
used
hatches
Chart
closed and
Fox.
all ground equipment is removed. Parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Call taxi.
Parking brakes
Okay,
set.
working
Lifting
through this then.
aircraft.
Fuel pumps on as required. 1, 2 and 3. Check the centre tanks are empty, so we don't need those two on.
We are cleared for start and push.
Ignition mode selector
Okay,
set both.
cleared for push start.
Packs
Please release
go
parking brake.
off. Part brake off.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback.
Ignition mode
Can
ground.
start the
Let's
engine
hear some of these.
sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Oh, listen to that. Callis, it's the live weather. Working out the runway in use and everything else. Jurassic, good afternoon. Oh, I wasn't able to preview the sounds to you guys when I had the preview copy. There was still a work in progress, but listen to that. Simon, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. ODG, yes, this is Simulations Tromsø. Spotted it. Spotted the clues. Go back into the flight deck. Ground. Gonna listen to. Let's see what view. Airliner. It's number 6. We'll use this one. Gentlemen, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing, buddy. 6. There's the spec in the live chat.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear it to disconnect. See you at the side.
Bit premature. We're still starting engine 1, but hey ho.
Holding position
I
waiting
shan't
for the visual.
complain.
Thank you and goodbye.
Alright, that's engine 1 flicking away. Are the window views yours or part of the PMDG 737 Alberto? They're mine. I have packaged them and put them onto flightsim.to inside my custom view folder though, if it does help. As Gimme Shelter's asking the same question there as well. What else have we got here? So engine 1 and 2 now on and stable. We're going to go to the overhead panel and we're going to do gens 1 and 2. So that's the APU, not using generating the power now. Put them onto auto and probes on. Wing anti-ice. Engine 1 and 2 bleeds on. Pack set auto. Isolation valve set auto. Recirc fan set auto. APU bleed off. APU off. Flaps as required. Well, we need flaps 10. That's 4 clicks. Flaps 1, flaps 2, flaps 5, flaps 10. For those animations. Lovely. Absolutely remarkable. Doc, I didn't use them because I've been having weird things with jetties these days since update 9, so I haven't actually used them. Right, what else have we got to do here? We need the takeoff page. Init ref, M1 limits, takeoff 6.35. Let's get that set. Wrong way. That's about 6.35 there. Flight controls full and free. And we like to see it from the outside, don't we? Mix it up. Let's do this. Oops. There we go. Lovely stuff. We know they work. LNAV, VNAV armed as required. 1 and 2. And auto throttle. And water brake RTO. And taxi lights on. APU spooling down. Get rid of the brakes. Dave, welcome! Tromsø Traffic Scandinavian 64 Papa taxi to Hull Point runway 18 by Yankee and Echo. Scandinavian safety demo time again. A little right turn, check the gyros. We've got to because the aircraft can simulate failures.
Tromsø traffic, Scandinavian 4417
A little left.
3, we're pushing and start facing north after the traffic behind us passed.
Little brake check.
Your seatbelt is fastened and open like this, and always keep it fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is on, and we do recommend that you keep your belt fastened during the whole flight when seated. Please oxygen is needed as panel above you will open and mask will appear. Pull down the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Adjust the strap to hold the mask in place, and secure your own mask first before helping others. You will find your life vest under your seat. Pull the vest over your head and fasten the strap around your waist. Fasten the buckle and tighten the strap.
MCP, yes, you want to use toolbar pushback.
Place the vest by pulling the tab. If the vest needs more or less air, use the mouthpiece.
Jump back in because we've got to make sure we actually are watching where we're taxiing here. We can't see anything because frustratingly there's no exclusions of the ridiculous amount of snow on the apron here.
And like the idle guided exit, look for the exit that may be located right behind.
It is painful, isn't it, Doc? It's the one thing that's disappointing with the scenery, sadly, because I actually can't really see where we're going at this stage. Following the greens, but I'm hoping they're going to lead us the right way. So this needs fixing. But apart from that, the scenery is beautifully stunning. Really nice. Nick, it's the Luke Air Tool on flightsim.to. Be a bit of backtrack required for this departure as well. I don't think I actually managed to put all of our light screenshots from our earlier flight on. Here's the hold point at Echo. Trying to gently brake a turn because we are on snow. Okay, at the hold checks. Fuel flow, reset rates. V-speeds have been checked. And NCP radios and nav data are set. Well, give me shelter. I always thought I was a bit more of a Airbus kind of guy, but you know what? It's completely instantly won me over, and I'm getting a lot of sort of excitement and enjoyment out of flying this aeroplane, learning it, getting to grips with how it all works, how it flies, how it handles. It's been a remarkably good bit of fun. Okay, so because we're going to backtrack, we need to then do our next set of checks. So we're going to go POS lights, strobe and steady, taxi lights off, runway turn off lights on, landing lights on, transponder set tier A RA, and traffic set or reset on. Lock, way confirm. Tromsø traffic, Scandinavian 64 Papa, backtrack, runway 18 VAR Echo. Bit of throttle required here to get moving. And we're in a bit of rain. It's just frustrating because you can't even see the runway. It's a complete overkill on the scenery. If you've not got my checklist yet, head to flightsim.to and you'll find this checklist available to download there. And similarly as well, you'll find it on my website, britishavgeek.com, in the PMDG 737 tutorial section. Oh, Doc, that's a good question. Remind me after departure, because I'm just going to focus on the backtrack here for a second. Horace, welcome. We got right. Oh, now VNAV, order 183, 139. Runway heading 183. We got that set to 5. That's fine. So the rain looks like it's on the outside of the glass. Hard to tell actually, because I mean I'd check the side, but I actually can't see because everything's whitewashed. Yes, there's a link to the website. You can download it there.
It's Tromsø traffic, Scandinavian 4417. It's taxi in holding point Echo by Yankee.
ODG John, awesome. Right, flaps 10. I've got to remember that. It's almost like a Skiathos departure now with additional flap settings. We're going to make sure this is all set. We're going to get the nose wheel nice and straight. We're going to be a toga departure again. This time with a slightly shorter runway, but I think we're going to have plenty of space again, I'd like to think. So let's go, park brake on, set 40. Make sure we've got charts ready. Tromsø traffic, Scandinavian 64 Papa, taking off runway 18, Amima 3 Bravo, departure, Tromsø traffic. Toga, rock and roll. Leads alive. 80 knots will relieve the pressure from the nose wheel.
V1.
Rotate.
V2. Positive reincline.
You're up.
Tromsø traffic, Osprey 722, taxiing runway 18, holding point Echo. Tromsø traffic.
How fantastic does that look? Anyway, back on the focus here. We're going to go CMD engage, on our VNAV, order throttle arm, and we're going to let it take over. Love a bit of toga. It's first time doing 2 toga departures here. Landing gears in and locked. Switch it to the off position, anti-skid to off, runway turn lights off. Aircraft's decelerating and slowly pitching down now. There we go, to accelerate. Beyond flaps 5. Let's go flaps 5 now. There we are. About 1.6 gig Kirby. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Cheers, folks. Should be about 230 knots almost. There we go, and we're at flaps up speed. So we go flaps 2 to 0, and we're going to go back to the checklist. Engine start switches are on auto, gear levers set off, runway turn lights off, flaps retracted as appropriate. We're going to check cabin pressurising normally. It is, there we go. And the seatbelt signs as required. We'll give the crew a little ding. We're going to increase the range of this now.
Tromsø traffic, Scandinavian 4417 is lining up runway 18.
John, are you in? 737. Oh, give me shelter. I think you've tempted me sufficiently now. I'm going to buy her. Honestly, you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. It's so immersive. So all we've got to do is climb through transition. We're going to do that anyway. We're going to set standard pressure and we're going to continue up to our cruise 380. Look at the rain again. Hear it bouncing off the front of the aeroplane. Absolutely fantastic. Back into the pea suit. Beardy Sim Pilot, buddy. Thanks for the checklist. You're most welcome. Really helped on the first flight today. I'm glad it has. Jurassic, I think it's a fantastic price for what it is. It's got such incredible detail to it. Here's some of the wing views. Got belly. Mr. Squiggle, is Trondheim Vans a quality scenery? That's a good question. I think I've got the Aerosoft Trondheim and it's very, very nice indeed. Doc, how am I doing? You're a 737 Pro. How are we getting on with it today? Double whammy. Rapid turnarounds. Oh, listen to those sounds. Oh, how is the performance? It is the most smoothest, best performing aeroplane that I've got in my hangar in MSFS full stop at the moment by a comfortable margin. Bearing in mind the sheer amount of complexity going on with what PMDG have done.
Tromsø traffic of Scandinavia 4417.
Delta Tango, after all the grief of trying to get the 737 last night, I can't put it down. Fantastic. It sounds good, doesn't it? I think we've gone through 10,000. Can hear a pitch change in the engines. Yes. Landing lights off. We're going to check we're on standard pressure, and we are. And we're going to do another little cabin pressure check before we go too high beyond 10. And we are pressurising normally. If we weren't at this point, we would have to go to the QRH. I think it certainly has changed. You know, I think it has raised the bar in the sim quite substantially. ContraQuests agreeing as well. The frames in this aeroplane are just insane. Loaded up and flying it, wow, just wow, indeed. Horus, yes, that's the Luke Air tool. So it's an additional program that I'm basically running alongside the sim. Let's turn the VORs off. Oh, absolutely, David. Imagine, yeah, the development now that's going to go into the 777. Oh, and if this is this good, imagine what that's going to be like. That's going to be really exciting. Judu, welcome. First of all, love your videos. Thank you very much. Just installed and it's taking long to load. Over an hour out. Wow, okay. Running on an SSD with a very good computer. Any tips? That doesn't sound very good at all. Oh my god, look at that. That's a screenshot. Quick. That is incredible. Let's get back here. Oh. How cool is that? Make sure I've got in the middle of the aeroplane, that'd probably help. In a nice little pocket of the soup at the moment. Chris, yes, do check out the tutorial I've created. I've actually made a tutorial showing you how to import your flight plan from SimBrief alongside the weather data and sort of do it as we've demonstrated it today. Steve's asking, are we getting some Osprey liveries? We certainly will be. Tapsi's hard at work. We're going to have Osprey Airways for the passenger version. We're going to have Osprey World Cargo for the cargo. And we're going to create an Osprey Executive potentially in the future as well. Absolutely spectacular. David, yeah, it'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it? I'd imagine they've smashed all records. check your sceneries, because it could be you're loading into a scenery that's a little bit broken or problematic, so it could just be the scenery, in which case you might need to do the old Alt F4 to cancel, kill the sim, restart. BA146, yeah, Steve, we're going to create some retro liveries for that in due time. 737 first. We're going to do the passenger variant, Osprey Airways, and the Osprey World Cargo 737. We're going to get those out the way first, then we're going to go, or Tapsi's then going to create an MD-82 retrojet style livery for the Osprey Airways fleet, and then also create the 146 liveries as well, with a cargo variant there as well. How are we going to climb here? There's a little top of climb marker coming up. The weather into Oslo sounds pretty horrendous as well. Winds 190 at 16 knots in light rain and overcast clouds 600 feet. 10 degrees Celsius, dew point 9 degrees Celsius, so very saturated air. UNH 1003 in temporarily 4,000 meters visibility in light rain and fog into Oslo. So it sounds, what we had into Tromsø was easy by the sounds of it compared to what we're about to head into. Okay, it's miserable, isn't it? I'll let me copy and paste the METAR from vPilot, and I'll put it in the live chat, folks. You can read it. There you go. Get a load of that. Where's the pea soup emoji? Chris, yeah, I've done quite a few updated, or I've done quite a few PMDG 737 tutorials, so do check them out. Oh, spectacular. Let's see if I can make this into a wonderful screenshot, shall we? With that fluffy cloud below. And if you guys were watching the other day, you would have seen we had some blurry textures on the wings, didn't we, if you remember? We couldn't work out what was happening. It was just something since an update 9 that had changed. It was causing me these weird, blurry sort of textures and views. I've worked out what it is. Ambient occlusion was on ultra. The second I changed it to high, all the blurriness went, and my crisp stuff is all back again. Beautiful views. John, are you in the 737, right? How are you getting on with it? And is this your first flight on VATSIM with it? I'm very, very fond of this aeroplane now. It's I was never sure if I'd have liked it as much as I do, but look at that. Give it a few days, we're going to have a whole swathe of incredible liveries going on to flightsim.to. Chris, yes, go to http.com/. I'll put the link to the website into the live chat. There you go. So you'll see all the tutorials there, Chris, including the sim brief one, so do check it out. How fantastic is that? It's, you know, lots of little things like we were exploring yesterday. Manual gear extension levers. They're simulated, they work. So does the flap. The where is it? Here we go. This is one of my favourite things we discovered the other day. How cool is that? Get the jump seat out. Close it. Oh, John, amazing. Ambient occlusion, Steve. I was finding that was causing me all manner of problems. Interphone, passenger address. I mean, look at the... If we go down into here, we go behind the seat. Bearing in mind, this is probably a place you're never going to look, right? And look at the level of detail that they put into this. Mike, thank you very much, buddy. Welcome on board. Thanks for joining us, a Bronze Frequent Flyer. Really appreciate it. A little map light there, look. All these little features that we're just slowly learning and spotting and working out. Look at that for a view. Hopefully second landing, John, absolutely. Surprised Rob hasn't hung his surprised he hasn't hung his suit there or something like that in the actual aircraft that on. Such a great bit of kit. Look at that for a flight deck. And hopefully those of you who have purchased it so far are absolutely loving it. Almost at cruise, 5,000 or so to go, less than that actually, 4,000 to go. Closing in on 20,000 subscribers, Alberto, that's fantastic. Thank you to every one of you for tuning in, watching, choosing to subscribe, choosing to hit the like button as well. Appreciate every single one of you guys getting involved in the streams, chatting in the live chat, keeping it active, keeping the hype going. It's fantastic, really appreciate all of you. Yeah, Alberto, a lot of you guys, a lot of the channel members especially, have been with us from the very early days of like 100 to 1,000 subscribers. Then you have a co-pilot sitting in the seat, Boom's asking. I don't think so. Don't think so. I've not tried. Right, let's boot up Volanta. I'll show you that because I've not shown it to you today during the stream. So there we go. That's what Volanta's looking like. Just ages and ages and ages. There's our big old route. We're off down to Oslo. We've got Polaris control, I think. 15 months Jurassic. Wow. That's incredible. What a journey the channel's been on in that time. Remarkable. Oslo's busy. Oh my god, look at that. That's insane. 737, A320, A320. Doesn't say. 737. Some more. 737. 737. 737. 737. Wow, look at that. Loads of 737s. Absolutely amazing. One on the threshold is 737. One on approach is 738. 737 on approach. 737 off the Varna. 738. Wow, it's just incredible, isn't it? Just everything. We've lit up Norway with 737s. What a remarkable aeroplane. Doodoo, welcome aboard. Thank you very much. Joining us as a silver frequent flyer. Fantastic. If you have joined us as a channel member recently, today, then head to our Discord server. The link will be in the live chat every now and again as a little while. And Nightbot will put the link in there. Click it. It'll take you straight through to Discord. And make sure that you tune with the little cog inside your Discord user settings across to sort of integrate and connect your YouTube account. Is there a Norwegian livery? Not yet, but I'd imagine there will be very soon. 16 months, John. Wow. Incredible. Thank you very much. Matthew, hello. Can't remember what you were at when I joined on, but it's great to see the growth. I remember you turned up just around the time the Aerosoft CRJ was released, didn't you? And you helped me learn it. and sort of get over that really steep learning curve. How long has that been? Aerosoft CRJ, year and a half? A year? Boom. We're all wondering it. We're all wondering it. Fuller's waiting for the 800s. I'm sure you're going to love it when it does come. 3 months to go. Look at that. Let's see, we get some of that fluffy cloud going on. The clouds look amazing today, don't they? That is us levelling off a cruise. And it also means another screenshot for Volanta. All of the screenshots, as always, throughout today's journey will go onto our Discord server. You guys will be able to see them all there. And I'll pick 4, as always, and put them onto Facebook and Instagram and all that sort of thing. Oh, yes. There's a screenshot. If anybody uses the Floyd Clouds preset thing from flightsim.to, Floyd's Epic Clouds I think it's called, that's just been updated as well. We're on live weather at the moment. Swoosh, very impressed on how amazing this aeroplane is. It's exactly what Microsoft Flight Simulator needed. It's wonderful, isn't it? Let's get some of them wing views again. Let's have a look at the landing data into, let's load from ACARS, ENGM. What are we expecting? 19 right, I think, aren't we? Is there a controller online? ENGM ATIS via Volanta says information Mike, ILS approach runways 19 are left and right in route in use. Runway condition is wet, transition level is 85. And then the E-soup weather that we saw earlier. Polaris control 118875. But we're not going to speak to them for quite a while. 118875, 118875, there we go, let's make a little note of that. All the METAR in. And it's telling us we want flaps 30 and auto brake 1 give us 1,654 metres left. Or runway auto brake 2 will give us 1,800 metres. ILS 19 right, 3,600 metres long, so auto brake 2 might actually get us stopped around Alpha 3, Alpha 4. Yeah, we'll do auto brake 2, we'll aim for Alpha 4, we'll see what happens. And then we're hoping for gate 11 according to Doc, which is a short taxi. Fan, thanks for subscribing. David A, with no EFB, how do you calibrate the throttle through the sim? I'm having an issue with reverse thrust with a honeycomb. Somebody mentioned that in Discord earlier actually, and Ashley put a load of tips and tricks in there, so do have a little dig through Discord. It was a remapping thing. ODG saying, Luke, where can I find the PMDG provided QRH? I don't think there is one. Let me just check my folder. No, there isn't one. But ODG John, if you just go to Google when you type in, I can't share it with you, but if you type in 737 Boeing 737-700 QRH and you hit search, you will find this. A fantastic QRH. There's two actually you'll find. This one's Thomson Airways, so I used to work for them. So it's a little nostalgic thing that I quite like to see when I'm flying around every now and again with my QRH ready. Where'd you get the amazing livery? Scandinavian. That is included in the operations centre, I believe. Look at that. Spectacular. Do love flying around this region in the world. The sledge, oi oi! Let's try not to fall asleep this time. How are you doing, sledge? And if you've got the 737 now, how are you finding it? Ghost, hello buddy. Unknown person, anyone had an issue where you can't find the 737 in the sim memory? Or in sim menu? No, but check your liveries. You want to make sure you got some liveries installed. That sheen there, that glimmer. Almost like that matte surface on the wing. Oh, Sledge, it's stunning, isn't it? Lolo, what's performance like? It's my best performing aeroplane in the sim by a long stretch. Which blows my mind because of how complex the simulation is with this. In fact, I've got service-based failures switched on as well, so as I'm flying along, the aeroplane is aging and it could create some failures at any point. Oscar's asking, where do you find the manual on how to handle failures and such? Only got a tutorial and introduction on how to set it up. So if you want a proper set of tutorials just to get you started, then head to our PMDG 737 playlist section, Oscar, and I've got a whole series dedicated to the MSFS PMDG 737. But if you go to Google and you search in Google 737 700 QRH, you'll see a couple of options at the top. That's what you want to download. If you want my checklist, that one, you can now find it on flightsim.to because I've uploaded it to there as well. Flightsim.to, search 737 checklist or something like that and you'll find it there. It's also in the trending now at the moment. You want an easier way to find it. But feel free to download that, print it, laminate it, use it as much as you want. And that will cover everything you need to get you through the flight, in addition to sort of understanding how the aeroplane works. So if you know where all the switches and the knobs and the dials are and what you need to do for the FMS, that checklist is going to get you started. Chris, thank you so much. Saw the tutorial, how it works like my P3D sim brief plans, except the folders are in different locations. Thanks, you're most welcome. Great to have you tuned back in again, thank you. Okay, descent forecast, let's request the winds. We did the .wx file from SimBrief for the second leg as well. Ghost just purchased the PMDG 737. Oh, Lolo, yes, a BMI baby livery. Oh, you know what? While we're live, I'm going to go to flightsim.to, I'm going to grab a picture and I'm going to see if I can request that. That would be cool. We just need a fantastic East Midlands airport scenery then. How do you request stuff? Liveries. Requests. BMI. Oh, funnily enough. Oh no, that's Aerosoft CRJs. Yeah, actually, yeah, there's a BMI one there. BMI baby as well though. BMI baby 737. Which one? Open image in new tab. That's one. Shall we use that one? Where's that save into my FS add-ons folder? Let's request one, shall we, folks? While we're live, do load, winds forecast, bit of multitasking. Make sure I don't pick anything wrong. There you go. Right, it's published as a request now. So find it on flightsim.to, and you guys can then do the little vote now thing as well. The sledge saying PMDG has achieved what none of us thought we would see for a long time based on what we saw and experienced before. Game on for the 777 and the 747. I know. Could you imagine how good that's going to be? Meta QNH1002. Doesn't matter if this changes, it'll be within sort of a close range to that anyway, and it was transition 8,500, so flight level 85. $315 miles to top of descent, and we can go into here, we can add in our arrival as well. We want the Belgu 3 Mike, ILS runway 19 right. Next page, there it is. Via Bavad. Perfect. Execute. We're going to check through the legs page. Belgu. There's a British Midland one as well, Steve, on flightsim.to as the request section. Chriso Games, welcome on board. Right, where is the Navigraph charts? Here we go. So we can tidy it up a little bit, as we always do. We don't need Tromsø anymore, so let's get rid of those. We want the Belgu on our arrival, so there we go. Belgu, max 250 knots, and you can see on the right hand side on the FMC, we've got that magenta speed constraint of max 250 there as well. And then it carries through, because on the charts you can see Agnel, max 250, Golf Mike 432, max 220 knots at flight level 110. So that's a mandatory altitude constraint there, and it continues round to Golf Mike 435. Same speed constraint, same altitude constraint. And you can see that reflected correctly on the nav data there too, to Bavad, which is where we want to be at or above 5,000, max 220. The hold at Bavad. We're going to transition from Bavad onto the ILS. And it says there mandatory 5,000, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change Bavad to, instead of 5,000 at or above, I'm going to change it to 5,000. Then we've got OSPAD, 4,000. Like so. 3.8 miles to Zivta. The Doody. Right, hold on. What have we got here? Oh, that's ILS 19 right. Get rid of this. We want ILS 19 right, not 19 left, which is what I'd selected. But we'll leave 19 right, left pin, sorry, just in case we need it. There we go. A Doody 200 knots at 4,000. So we've set that. Followed by Zinlo 3,500, which is there. And then the runway. So we've got 3-degree glide slope. Got Cat 3 Alpha, Precision IR50 with auto land, but I'm going to do a Cat 1. I'll fly it in. Actually, 4,000 meters RVR, 550 meters. Yeah, we'll hand fly it in. Why not? RVRs certainly should be above 550 meters. So you want to make sure you check all the nav data and it's all correct. And there's our missed approach data as well. So looking at the top of the charts, climb on 192 degrees to 2.5 DME GSW. It says there GSW 3, which is what that means with a 192 track. At the top of the screen on the FMS, then turn right, 223 degrees track, climb to 5,000, expect vectoring by Oslo approach. And that's what all of that data is there. It's all correct. Lovely. Right, so all we need to do later on is put in the Cat 1 minimums, 875. And then we're going to put the ILS frequencies in as well. Garderman VOR 115.905, we can tune that. And in fact we could put the ILS frequencies into the standby boxes for each, along with the course of 192 as well. So we could do it whilst we're in the cruise. I'd love to see a Britannia one. Mitrios, welcome aboard. Blown Up, hello buddy. Good to have you back. Sirin, it's Navigraph. Navigraph.com, and I've got the ultimate subscription, which you pay a year in advance. You get a lot of, you get it a lot cheaper. Right, landing altitude 700, so that matches. And we're going to go down here. We're going to do some of this nav data stuff. So that's what we want. 115905. 5905. Flick it into the active, and we want 1113. And 1113. We'll leave them both in the standby box there. We'll look up and we'll set both of these to 192, which are the courses of the ILS. Blown Up's just purchasing the Boeing 737. Fantastic. What are the numbers on the stick? You can change them. Basically, it's the flight number. In this instance, we might set 64 Papa, so we'll do 064. There we go. And it's a bit of a reminder. And you've got checklists here too, so and you can actually move this down if you use them. So we can put it there because we know the next step's going to be descent. Fixed rings, we're going to put around the GRM VOR, 10 mile fixed ring and a 4 mile fixed ring. So GRM 10 and /4. There we go. So that's 2 fixed rings put in. I think that is everything really that we need to worry about, so we can just enjoy the cruise. Look at that! Look at that front building in there. That is spectacular. Alberto, awesome! Just purchased the PMDG 737 as well. Let's see what all the hype is about. You're going to absolutely love it. There's a lot to learn, and it's really nice. Oscar, what are your settings in the failures? Do you have the maintenance linked one set on? Yes, I do. Where are we? PMDG, aircraft, failures, all systems, service-based failures. There you go. So I've got it on. And in the maintenance, you can see we're counting down for about 250 hours. And as the aeroplane starts to age, gets nearer to service, a couple of things might go wrong. And it could be something really minor, something really serious. We'll just have to deal with it as per what the QRH tells us. Arco, yeah, you can certainly try. Try and make a note. There's a lot of sceneries and things I need to get around to sort of showing at the moment. But it will go on a list. Polaris Control, ENOS 118875. That's ready. 118.875 in the box. Ronald, no. No circuit breakers. But there can be failures associated with it, I guess. Low engine 2 and 4 shut down on my BA 146 yesterday. That's not good. Did you check things like bleeds, fuel cross feeds, all that sort of stuff? As the sledge is saying there in the live chat, there's a lot to learn with the 737, but it's really intuitive and it's quite forgiving. And you know, effectively I've learnt by using trial and error, just sort of picking my bones through it and working it out to my best of my ability. And it has looked after me the whole way through. That engine failure stream that we did, prime example. It worked wonderfully. Richmond's just purchased it today as well. Welcome. Welcome to the 737 crew. How are you finding it? If you've already downloaded it. it's pretty much instantly become my favourite. Jay is enjoying the VAS airplane toolbox. Yeah, it's quite good, isn't it? Triforce Gamers couldn't work out why engine 2 didn't start for the 737. What I would suggest is having a little look at my tutorials that I've created. It'll be enough to get you started. Follow all the steps as we work through, and in fact you can follow the same route as well. For episode 1, 2 and 3 there's a little flight from Prague to Skiathos, and you can set the video to play and set everything up as you go along as well. Scott, that's strange. I haven't changed anything myself. Sledge says try popping a cube C circuit breaker. I think they do work. They did. No. Nope. But again, it's not something I'd really want to sort of do myself anyway. Oh, this would be fantastic with shared cockpit. No, absolutely. Richmond, awesome. 737 Pro then. Did Britannia Airways have any Boeing 737-700s, or was it a couple of 800s and things? You know what, I never flew on a Britannia 737. It was always 757 when I went away. Lola, how long does it take to install? Not sure, to be totally honest. It depends on your internet speeds and all that sort of stuff, but well, and their server as well. See if their server can cope. Descent, what do we got? 228 to top descent. They did have 767s, 200s and 300s. John, how's your internet speed now? Very good. I've upgraded to gigafast yesterday, folks. So yeah, we are zooming along with the broadband speed at the moment. Although I don't know how stable it is because this is the first day that we've had it proper. But what I hope you might have noticed is the stream might be a little bit crisper because I've actually ramped up the bitrate a little bit more. So you guys are seeing more data on the screen. So hopefully that's coming across on the stream. I've upgraded to sort of improve what it looks like for you guys watching wherever you are in the world. Nicholas, absolutely, and you know, it's a business, it has to make a profit, doesn't it? And they certainly deserve to make a fantastic profit from it as well. 3 years of love, I guess, from the PMDG team, working really hard at getting this into the sim for us all to enjoy, so it's a huge achievement, and something that a lot of people doubted as well. But what it does mean is the money, the profit, as you mentioned, will then go into the development of the 777 and the 747. So it allows PMDG to put more resources into their future products. Very exciting. Zibby, the window does not open, no. Andy, cheers buddy, thank you. Yeah, Richmond is incredible, isn't it? It's the best performing aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I think. Keep smashing that like button, folks. The only thing I couldn't get used to work was the fuel used gross weight calc auto setting VREF. Coastal, there's 2 WestJet liveries. There's a tartan tail, which is what we were enjoying 2 days ago on the stream, and there is then a normal one as well. Split FMCs, by the way, as well. That's this, isn't it? It was already set on auto though. Like so, welcome on board. Let's see how close we can get to this. Look at that. Like almost that used sort of look on it. See if we can get real close up to the screen, because that's what I want to do. Get out of the way. Look how fantastically crisp that is. Richmond, any workarounds to set up wing views? Yes, head to flightsim.co and download the package that I've created. As the sledge is saying there, FPS and stutter-free performance on this aeroplane is just second to none. 45 knot headwind, blimey. Sibby's loving a bit of eye candy. Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? Can't floor it, can't floor it. Even the little things. That metal clip, for example, or the zip tie, they've actually added that in. Stig, yes you can. In fact, all you've got to do is head to flightsim.co. What I was going to do then. Head to flightsim.co and have a little look for my custom camera pack that I've uploaded onto the website. And within there are 3 different camera config files for each of the variants. So you just click, drag it across, replace the default one, and then you can enjoy. You've got the Alt 1, 2, 3, 4 keybind set at the top of the QWERTY. Enjoy all these different keybind sort of custom views here. New bricks looks and seems fantastic, sure is. Feel a bit scammed on the pricing strategy, but hey, they need to make more. They need to make money somehow. Also, this gives me more money to spend on the Phoenix. So, have you purchased it, New bricks? I certainly don't think it's a scam or anything like that. That's a term that I keep seeing thrown around in the community a lot, without really sort of, I guess, understanding the terms. I certainly don't think PMDG wanted it to take this long in development, so of course that takes time. ODG, John, just try and get as close as possible to it. Well, exactly, and imagine if is it Sim Update 10? When Sim Update 10 comes along and they release the weather data, and PMDG can create the weather data and add the weather radar into this aeroplane, just going to be a whole nother level, isn't it? Night Shepherd, ATC's got him. Polaris Control. We're going to be listening to them very soon. Classic, yeah, I flew on a couple of their 767-200s, but mainly I flew on their 767-300s and the 757-200s. Arco, yes, that's more of a reasonable thing to sort of describe. It's not as much of a scam, but unnecessarily expensive and rather disappointing. The Leonardo Mad Dog. Say you're a half-assed MD-80 for $10 more. That's 90 euros for me in the UK to buy that aeroplane, and the sounds are poor, textures are pretty poor, and the click spots are poor from what everybody keeps saying across the forums. So I'm kind of glad I haven't purchased it. John, great to hear. PMDG 737, the only aeroplane I've flown that hasn't had a single stutter. It's awesome. It's remarkable, isn't it? Oh yes, ADF2, is it not? Still got a little while actually till we speak to Polaris Control. VATSIM is where we speak to them. That's miles away. That's there, 160 nautical miles till we speak to Polaris. Let's see, let's go for that wing view for a bit. Alakan, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. I'm glad, John, you're finding the performance incredibly good. Oh, Andy, very nice, yes. Yeah, new bricks. I guess if you want a number of the variants of the 737, it becomes more expensive. But for the price, as David has said, it's a fantastic deal. You can't buy any other aircraft anywhere near the quality of this, David's saying, and I completely agree with you. It blows everything else out the water. Yeah, that's probably a good way of describing the Mad Dog sledge. Rather than describe it as a scam, it's more of a cash grab. Because I guess they knew PMDG was releasing and they thought we just got to get it out. So they just released something that just wasn't ready. They certainly don't sound like they're in that much of a rush to improve it either. Red Star, good question, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think Jurassic, the argument for PMDG there is that not everybody is going to want all the variants. And bearing in mind they're developing them all separately as packages, they have their own development cycles, so I suppose they've got to price them all like that. Julius, I couldn't get FMC speed to work. Is it a flick of a button or is there more to it? Which one? Just the speed button? Zibby, yes, it really does make you feel like you're operating a real Boeing 737. Absolutely. It's yeah, you've got to look after it, and it will look after you. You've got to keep an eye on it as well. Electric Cloud 787-10. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry. It's a default system. I think the upgrade to get the 787-10, the default MSFS 787, I think it's an exceptionally expensive upgrade option. So I would not recommend bothering with it at all. Mahim's just landed in LFMN in the beautiful aeroplane. Fantastic. How's it going for you? Arco, yeah, I think I might be doing the same. I'll wait for the Mag Dog to go on sale in the future, but I'm in no rush. I'd like to see a lot of the stuff improved on it first, from what I've seen, before I sort of explore it. Matthew saying, is it hard? It's an aeroplane. Couldn't care less about the ICANN. Lee, you want the system depth. Yeah, I can see what you mean. I can see where you're coming from. You want it to work properly and be a Mad Dog. But in MSFS, it's the visuals as well as the sounds, as you know, in addition to the system depth, that you kind of expect for that money now, I think. New bricks, I think that's probably going to be the sweet spot, isn't it? I think most people were going to, yeah, they're going to buy two variants. For me, I'd love the 700 is fantastic. I would quite like a super stretch 900. I think that'd be quite cool. That longer one, that's, you know, you get more risk of a tail strike. You've got to be that little bit more careful on takeoff and landing. Mikhail, hello buddy. Man, there's a lot to learn for an old A320 boy. Absolutely. Red Star, manual. I like to fly it in by hand. It's lovely, isn't it? Richmond, so, I mean, those of you with the Mad Dog, I don't know, I mean, I can't access the forums or anything like that, but is there a push from the developers to get it improved? Malteser, why fly in snow? We've just got live weather switched on. Although MSFS does have that rather washed out crazy view sometimes with the snow being a bit OTT. Arco would love to see a Boeing 737-8 MAX. That's a long way away. I think from what it sounds like, PMDG are going to do the 600 next, then the 800, then the 900, then the long haul jets, the 747 and the 777, and then I think they're going to be creating the Max in the long distant future. Mikhail still at the gate after 3 hours, good grief. How are you finding my tutorials? Are they helping? Gav, thank you very much. That's really kind of you. Thanks for your super chat. Zibby remembers being really young, playing FSX with his dad when it just come out, and it really has come a long way. Absolutely. I remember Flight Sim 2002, and it was visually awful by comparison. System depth was pretty naff as well, and all I ever did was, I've told this story quite a lot, but all I ever did was get in the Concorde at Meigs Field, blast off on the tiny runway, which was impossible really, but it did it. And then I flew to O'Hare, smacked it down on the runway, and that was kind of it. Same with the default 777 that it had in there as well. Yo, fantastic. Glad to hear. Hopefully you're finding the checklist really handy as well. I do need to update the one on the actual website though, at the BritishAvGeek.com website. Cool, thanks for subscribing, welcome aboard. And Pavel, welcome. There she is again, a little external view hop again. Nubrix, yeah, you're either Airbus or Boeing. I always thought I was Airbus though. I always thought I was Airbus, except for long haul jets. Exclusion of the A350, but this has just instantly won me over. There's more to it. It feels like there's more involvement, for you as a pilot. Airbus, I think, just feels very detached by comparison now. Ghost, booting the sim with the 737 for the first time. I hope you got the checklist ready to go. You're going to have a great time. Commentator, invalid entry messages when trying to load the company route after putting the route file in the flight plans directory. Do you have to load in after saving the flight plan? Yeah, so I put it into the flight plan folder, then I boot the sim. Jurassic's a Bombardier guy. To be fair, the CRJ won me over instantly when that was released. That's still one of my favourites. Matthew knows this. Not either. They don't need to. We're doing them for them for free. All those liveries are free adverts, aren't they? Aaron, I tend not to do many long hauls, to be totally honest. I get the odd Sim Update 9 problem, which I think quite a lot of us do. We're waiting for that hotfix actually, aren't we? Top of descent just after Vexham by the looks of it. Boeing feels a bit more comfy or personal maybe. Might be the flight deck colour scheme, just prefer the simplicity of Airbus. It seems that most airlines do as well currently. Yeah, Airbus has certainly got that. It's more automation, isn't it? But more automation breeds more complacency. That's what they always put in your pilot, even for my PPL. They talk about how, the more automation there is, the more complacency the pilots get. Oh, look at that, quick. There's a jet that's literally just gone underneath. I think we're too slow. There he is. Look at that. How fantastic. He's going the other way. Oh, glad we spotted that. How cool. I have to reset my drone camera view. Well, that was awesome. We had traffic on though, maybe I just didn't pick him up. To be fair, he would have been a tiny blip. That was, where am I? That was Henriksen, Scandinavian 4414, doing the opposite route, A320 up to Tromsø. There is a lot of poop weather down below us as well at the moment. A lot of red, a lot of purple. No warnings of turbulence yet, Red Star. That'll have to come when the weather API gets released. See if we can get to 300 likes before we rock up into Oslo, folks. That's cool. Boeing is more of a pilot's aircraft, but the cockpits between the A320 and the 737 aren't even close. The bus takes it by a mile, and the 737 cockpit, especially with the second jump seat, is horrible. This one, Matthew. There's an excuse just to open it up again. How about that? It looks pretty horrendous, doesn't it? There you go. Is there more shaking in the cabin during turbulence or high winds compared to the A320X? You know what? For today, we've not really experienced any of it. If I go to cabin view now, we're not really in turbulent air, but now we've got the custom view set up. We can pop down to, I don't know, the aisle. It's just nice and smooth. Little emergency exit row. There are updates coming to the cabin as well. Excited to know. The sheepskin must stink, but look how good it looks. My PFD is flickering on both sides. Have you had that problem before? No, I haven't, but check your refresh rate, either your glass cockpit refresh rate in your MSFS settings or in displays, I think. Maybe not. Not in that one. Options, simulation. Actually, it probably is performance, isn't it? So I think you can change these. There you go. 15 frames per second, engine limits, IS. So you can actually limit the refresh rate on some of these. There's a bit of turbulent air. The second jump seat is where the shelf behind the captain's seat is. Oh, good grief. This. That looks awful. No thanks. SLI, you're most welcome. And you've got the PMDG 737, great to hear. Sounds like the website is coping with the traffic a bit more now. Oh, Neil, fantastic options for you then, and be sure to get the fly-by-wire A32NX as well.
Cleared Luton, Vippa, 1 Charlie departure. Cleared 7,000 feet, squawk 2730.
Yeah, you can actually change the refresh rate to the PFD and the nav display as well if you want to. If you're struggling with frames.
Squawk climb 7000, squawk 2730, EC72 Tango. EC72 Tango, read back correct. Polaris Nordic 72 Charlie, radio taxi. Nordic 72
Oh, right, so
Charlie,
it's information
Lima,
Oscar.
Sierra, hold point runway 19 left. Taxi Lima Sierra,
Runway condition wet, transition level 85. Oh, no worries at all, buddy. Forest control, wind 190 degrees, 19 knots, visibility 9 kilometers in light rain, clouds overcast 400 feet now, so the base is dropping. Temperatures plus 11 degrees Celsius, dew point plus 10, QNH 1002 with temporary clouds overcast at 600 feet.
Here
we are, you get a bit more out of the Boeings, I think. Mr. Swedish Moto, absolutely. Absolutely. Centurio, good morning. Welcome. Right, let's think about NTC. Tromsø approach is online, of course it is, after we've already been in and out of it. Sod's law. Alright, so that's all set. Set forecast is all set, and we've got the QNH, which is correct, and the transition level put in as well. We've added our 2 fixed rings around the GRM and VOR, which is a little bit out of view at the moment. We'll see it as we get a bit closer. There's the 737 auto trim in some scenarios.
QNH 1002, free speed.
Neil, yeah, that's a good way of seeing Airbus in a way. It just does it all for you, very little thought required. You can muck a lot of stuff up and it'll still sort you out. This, on the other hand, is a little bit more immersive. 875.
1002, free speed.
501002, free speed, Cameroon Natural. 11987, climbing through 2700 for 5000.
Scan 11987, identified, climb flight level 280, direct Rano, Tango November Oscar.
Flight level 280, direct Tango November Oscar, scan 11987.
So, 875 is set.
Fox 1606, very confident start.
Your call sign is Green Star.
192, 192 for the course.
1606, push and start
1.3, treble 1.3, both in the standby box, and we've got 11595, which is the Garderman VOR, still out of range. That's in the box, active at the moment. Blown up yet, I think it is being worked on. No, hello buddy. What else do we need to think about?
117, wind 1908, 19 knots, runway 19 right, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, Oscar.
That's most of it, to be honest.
I got established on the like 1 just reporting.
Right, descent checks before top of descent.
1606, could you please repeat push and start, Clement?
Arrival weather data set, destination weather obtained, landing altitude check. 700s, radio set, and lock ILS frequency courses are all set. Wing and engine anti-ice as required. We'll leave them. I've got that on, haven't I? Whoopsie. Actually, stand by. It was off. That's fine.
We are set to go cleared RMP Whiskey approach 100 left, Scandinavian 806. 1465 request time for current to Copenhagen.
Let's call Polaris Control, folks.
5, cleared to Copenhagen via the OXAT 6 Delta departure, cleared 7000 feet, squawk 5515.
1465, cleared to Copenhagen via OXAT 6 Delta departure, usual 10,000 feet, squawk 5515, Scandinavian 1465.
Scandinavian 1465, read back correct.
Flores Control, good evening, Scandinavian 6-4 Papa, flight level 380, Boeing 737 inbound VATSIM, and information Oscar for Oslo on board.
Scandinavian 6-4 Papa, Flores hello, squawk 4630.
Squawk 4630, Scandinavian 6-4 Papa.
Scandinavian 2987, contact Copenhagen Control, frequency 121.375.
And we have 80 seats here, Sin.
Thank you for service.
Very nice.
Scandinavian 2987.
Got star charts ready.
That was 2 stations. I heard Scandinavian 460, Polaris hello, cleared Lunip for Mike arrival, descent flight level 120.
Descent 120, Lunip for Mike, Scandinavian 460.
Scandinavian 216 back in cockpit, and it appears my plane started descending by itself.
Scandinavian 2, set that in the box.
Flight level 120.
Descent flight level 120, Scandinavian
That's set,
216,
and the barrow's set.
Scandinavian 29 Charlie, ready for push and start.
Scandinavian 29 Charlie.
Flight level 110 is the aim.
1001.
Push and start approved, QNH
Set auto brake 2.
Scandinavian 29
Touchdown.
Scandinavian 806, new QNH 1001.
1001, Scandinavian 806.
This.
Nordic 72 Charlie, line up runway 19 left, QNH 1001.
Let's refresh that.
QNH 1001, line up runway 19 left, Nordic 72 Charlie.
Scandinavian 64 Papa, squawk 4630. 4630.
It will go, sorry, 4630, Scandinavian 64 Papa. I even wrote it down.
Scandinavian 64 Papa, identified, cleared direct off pad, expect LS 19 left.
What's up? Scandinavian 216.
Clear direct OSPAD, expect ILS 19 left, Scandinavian 64 Papa. Departure arrivals.
72 Charlie, wind 1908, 18 knots, runway 19 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 19 left, and Nordic 70 Charlie.
We can do that, and then we can do
Osprey 117,
direct
taxi
OSPAD.
via Hotel Delta, stand 76.
So now we need to change the data. Of course we do. So 4 mile and the 10 mile fixed rings are fine, but now we need ILS DME 11055.
Scandinavian 66 Alpha, Flores Radio 5.
11055, 11055, and 1902, 1902 for the course still remains. Missed approach.
66 Alpha, cleared Brussels via Vippa 6 Delta departure, cleared 7000 feet, squawk 1754.
I'm on track 192 to 3 GME. Turn left 102, climb at 3000. Let's just check the data in the legs here. Now we've changed this quickly. OSPAD Zivtar. Runway 19 left.
Scandinavian 786 with you, 380.
Scandinavian 786, Polaris hello, squawk 1474.
1474, 786.
Scandinavian 192 X-ray, descend flight level 100.
Give me 13.
100, Scandinavian
Vectors.
Scandinavian 64 Papa, descend when ready, flight level 120.
Somewhere ready, flight level 120, Scandinavian 64 Papa.
Scandinavian 786 identified, cleared in
NCP reset.
arrival,
The next step on the
19 right. Descend when ready, flight level 120.
panel, the checklist. Let's get that set.
Mike, 1 on the right, and the one ready 120, Scandinavian 26.
Climb 3000, climb 5000, expect Oslo, approach vectors.
70 Tango, stand 44, ready for push and start.
Oh, Matthew, exactly. It's going to be fantastic, isn't it?
H1001.
Sledge. I always love the proper pilot spouting. Who's that then?
Nordic 72 Charlie identified, climb flight level 310, direct Oksa.
Level, apparently. Can't see them. Make sure we are on VNAV as well. Top of descent coming up.
Nordic 72 Charlie, identified. Climb flight level 310, direct Oksat.
And here comes top of descent.
Direct to say again, please. The
So we're going to see a couple of things. FMC speed's going to change, and our M1's going to reduce, and we're going to go VNAV path. There we go, retard. And the little purple triangle there is going to move. We set 4,000 for OSPAD, so we are going to aim for that.
Scanner 7806, wind 190 degrees, 18 knots, runway 19 left, clear to land.
New bricks, I think for the price, there are issues with the textures, issues with the click spots, and issues with the sounds.
Green Star.
And for me, it's 90 euros to buy that aeroplane add-on, which is a lot of money.
Green Star 1606,
For me, I can't justify it.
turning point, runway 19 right, via Delta, Papa, and November.
Taking runway 19 right, via Delta, Papa,
I have
November.
to open up my VAX airport toolbox thing again. Where is it? VAX airplane
Scanner
toolbox.
192 X-ray, descent 4,000 feet, QNH 1001. Clear LS approach, runway 19 left.
Scanner 1465, request push and start for stand 178.
That was not the one I was calling. Scandinavian 192 X-ray, descent 4,000 feet.
It's actually telling us we're going to need auto brake 3 because of the wet runway.
That's where for our passenger stop at 4,000, 1002 and 19 left.
Yeah, auto brake 3.
Scanning
It is. Thanks.
Scandinavian 192
Calculator.
X-ray, the new QNH is 1001.
1001.
Yeah, auto brake 3.
Scandinavian 1465,
Houses.
push and start approved, QNH 1001. Remain clear of Kilo 1, do traffic behind.
Yeah, that trim noise. Fantastic.
Stand 178, QNH 1001, and clear for traffic on Kilo.
Alright, as we descend, it's telling us drag required. Let's get a bit of flight detent out. That'll slow the aeroplane down. And we're going to init ref, index, approach, flaps 30.
Scandinavian 460, clear like Pipla, expect LS 19 left.
131, 136. There's our frequencies, 1105.
Clear like Bavad, expect LS 19
055, 1055. I'm going to put that into the active box now, so it's one less thing for me to do. And
the station for taxi, second cosine.
1001 is set on the standby instrument there for QNH.
Kilo, November 20.19 right.
Centurion, I'm not sure.
Taxi Kilo, November 19 right, Scandinavian 29 Charlie.
Wing and engine anti-ice, let's get that on.
Scandinavian 796, clear Arctic Zuma.
Arctic Zuma, Scandinavian 216 requesting further descent.
How lovely is that?
Scan 216, he was cleared, flight level 120.
My bad, I thought you said 210. Descent rate level 120, Scandinavian 216.
DC-70 Tango, ready for taxi clearance. DC-72 Tango, taxi Juliet, Sierra, turning point 19 left.
Juliet Sierra, holding point 19 left, DC-72 Tango.
So we zoom out, look. We can increase that VNAV path, and you can see we've got a nice straight line showing us a continuous descent to OSPAD, bang on 4,000. So that's looking quite nice.
Scandinavian 375, Polaris, hello, squawk 4556.
Squawk 4556, Scandinavian 375.
Scandinavian 192 X-ray, got out the traffic inbound as well, so I need you to maintain speed at least
Pilot, that's not good.
200 or greater.
That said, this is the best performing aeroplane that I've got in the sim.
200 degree and toss, but scanning.
Earth calculator, Alon, VAS airplane toolbox. Yeah, if you Google it, DAS space airplane space toolbox, you'll see a link to the X-Plane forum, ironically. You want to download it from there.
Control, Scandinavian 4417, flight level 380.
This is John's first ever approach in the 737 behind us.
And we're going 737.
In the PMDG 737 on VATSIM with a controller.
Scandinavian 4417, just step back. Scandinavian 4417, squawk 1774.
Is that Squawk 1773 Scandinavian?
Had a few frame drops coming in with the scenery, Night Shepherd. Did you have, out of curiosity,
turn left by
you have the interior package added into it as well? Because I've got that, and I'm not sure if it's going to cause lots of performance issues as we make our way in. Such a good livery this is, isn't it? Nav lights, check. You've got keybind, the reverse, set to decrease throttle.
Tango Juliet 48, Canada Network.
Very nice.
Scanner 216, descend 5,000 feet.
Oh, you don't have the HD interiors. Oof. Well, I do. That's a worry. That's a worry.
Scan 216, expedite descent.
Expedite descent, Canadian 216.
There goes the woofer.
Scanner 375, identified. Cleared Belgium 3 Mike arrival.
Cleared Belgium 3 Mike arrival, Scan 375.
Norway 72 Charlie, contact Sweden 127.750, bye-bye.
Sweden 127.750, Norway 72 Charlie, thank you, bye-bye.
Scan 11460, resume direct Titla, descend 7,000 feet, QNH 1001.
Like Titla, descend 7,000, QNH 1001, Scandinavian 460.
EC72 Tango, landa runway 19 left.
Start up wait runway 19 left, EC72 Tango.
Clean star 1606, landa runway 19 right.
Here we go.
Clean star 1606, landa runway 19 right.
Oh, Night Shepherd, fair enough, yes, that's fine. What's the arrival runway, ODG John? So we've just been changed to 19 left.
Descent flight level 120, clear act Agnil.
Oh, Neil, I did not. That's rather cool. So the first flag displayed, depending on where the aircraft is registered.
Cloud control operated 22 level 380.
Osprey 722,
Oh, into the clouds.
Squawk 0245.
Squawk 0245, Osprey 722.
Oh, it's just tickling it at the moment.
Scan 4417, Squawk 1774.
Thank you very much to our ATC today. Hope you're enjoying it.
774, confirm operators and
Rain's on, 6-1 is the highest peak around us at the moment.
Rain star 1606, wind 180 rate 18 knots, Fleming 19 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, wind star 109.
We've got rid of that drag required.
Green star 72 Tango, question EC 72 Tango, wind 180 rate 18 knots, Fleming 19 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff runway 19 left, EC 72.
11055, 11055, 192.
4417, identified.
And 192.
Clear act Belgium 3 Mike arrival.
cleared for the Belgu, that's Mark arrival off Scandinavian 4417.
Interesting.
Scandinavian 216 requesting the elevator.
Scan 216, turn right, question left heading north.
Second for Scandinavian 216.
Left heading
left
north.
heading 360.
Left heading 360, Scandinavian 210.
Scan 11417, clear act Belgu.
881 for our new minimums.
Direct Belgu,
Here.
Scandinavian 4417.
Osprey 722, cleared Belgu, 3
Icing.
mark arrival.
In fact, yeah, we've got high altitude, probably Virga rain there. And that's rain that will evaporate before it reaches the surface. Rain at 20,000 feet, it's insane.
26 Alpha, push start route, QNH 1001.
We've got the anti-ice and everything on, probe heat, windshield heat, everything fired up. Nice and hot.
Scan 11460, descend 5,000 feet via Titla KLS 19 left.
Descend 5,000 via Titla KLS 19 left, scanning for.
Incredible weather systems.
Scan 11316, descend 4,000 feet and turn right heading 100.
Vitor, just sim brief, I believe.
And then right heading 100, Scandinavian 216.
Scan 164 Papa, descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, Scandinavian 64 Papa. Neil, so the livery's correct, but if it was the older scheme, the registered flag would be at the front. That's cool to know. Did not know that. She looks great though, doesn't she?
Correction 19 left, correct.
Look how fantastic it looks.
Scandinavian 460, speed 220
Love it.
knots.
Speed 220, Scandinavian
I'm finding it so rewarding.
Scandinavian 64 Papa, speed 250 knots.
Speed 250 knots, Scandinavian 64 Papa.
Scandinavian 4417, request descent.
Scandinavian 4417, descend flight level 120.
Descend flight level 120, Scandinavian.
Got a bit of speed breakout as well, so we can continue our descent too.
722,
Bit of drag required.
flight level 120.
So we've hit speed intervention there, so we're remaining on VNAV, but we've hit speed intervention and then we've selected 250, so we're asking the airplane to maintain 250 knots.
29 Charlie, runway 19 right, clear for takeoff. Wind 18 degrees, 18 knots.
Clear for takeoff, 19 right, Scandinavian 29 Charlie.
Korean Star 160.
Got a bit of rain, look.
Climb flight level 370.
Climbing flight level 350.
Definitely Virgo. Gotta be. I can't imagine rain would fall for 20,000 feet.
606, climb flight level 370.
First glimpse of the ground below. No more snow. Good to know.
370, Green Star 1676.
EC72 Tango identified, climb flight level 380, direct Vippa.
I'd love to see what the this all says. 20 miles to Ospad.
Scandinavian 192 X-ray, runway 19 left, clear to land. Wind 18 degrees, 18 knots.
Gonna have to hold.
Good on runway 19 left, Scandinavian 192.
20 miles to Ospad. We've got to
Polaris Control, good afternoon.
lose another 6,000 feet. We can do it. Holy Christ.
Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee, Polaris Hello, squawk 1462.
That's incredible.
1462, Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee.
Scandinavian 216, speed 200 or greater to 10 miles.
Speed 200 or greater to 10.
Elliot, welcome. Alright, that's all set. Approach has been briefed. Auto brake set as required. We've now recalculated, set it to auto brake 3 with a wet runway.
Scandinavian 4117, correct Agnil.
Direct Agnil, Scandinavian 4417.
Using flight detent still. To help increase that rate of descent. And keep the speed manageable. Oh, look at that. Right, no more drone camera for now. Let's make sure we've got rid of the music as well.
Canadian 6 Alpha for taxi.
366 Alpha,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Via Golf and November to holding point Alpha 7.
See what signs are on.
Golf November to Alpha 7, Canadian 6 Alpha.
Scanner 460, speed 180 knots.
Speed 180, standing.
Want a further descent.
1465, request taxi.
Right, get in.
Scanner 1465, taxi Kilo, November, hold short of Golf.
Kilo, November, hold short of Golf, Scandinavian 1465. Scandinavian 29 Charlie passing 4,300.
Christopher, yeah, I could hear some.
Scan 29 Charlie, identified, climb Yazid flight level 370.
Yeah, we're not going to make this.
Climb via seed
30 miles to touchdown, 10,000 feet.
Scandinavian 192,
Oh.
keep travel fine.
Scandinavian 192 X-ray, taxi stand 73 via Tango and Whiskey.
Depends on the setup, Red Star.
I believe that was stand 17 by Tango and Whiskey, Scandinavian 192.
Scandinavian 64 Papa request further descent.
64 Papa, sorry. Descent 4,000 feet, QNH 1001.
Set 4000, QNH 1001, Scandinavia 64 Papa.
Scandinavian 2 Bravo Kilo, Bravo Yankee, sorry, request descent.
Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee, cleared at OP3 Mike arrival, descent flight level 120.
Adobe 3 Mike, descend flight level 120, Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee.
Scandinavian 460, reduce speed 160 knots.
Speed back 160.
Right, flight D10, we're going to need that.
Scan 216,
See how we can
18 knots, runway 19 left, clear climb.
see how we can do.
Not the one on the left, Scandinavian
10 miles to Wasp at 4.
Scandinavian 64 Papa. Maintain the speed as high as you can for the meanwhile, and clear the left approach runway 19 left. When established, 180 rated to 6 miles.
Return speed and cleared ILS runway 19 left, Scandinavia 64 Papa.
Scandinavia 76, we got further descent.
Scan 786, descent flight level 110, speed 220 knots.
110, 220.
Minimum set, approach brief, auto brake set as required, altimeter 1001, 85, passing transition, local pressure, down to 8, landing lights on, runway turn lights on, seatbelt signs on, approach checklist, nav course 192, 192, we're picking it up there on the PFD, 27 miles, that's showing the same as well. This is live weather indeed, yes. Final check of the MCP.
200, just stand by.
Let's refresh this. 135.
Scandinavian 29 Charlie, clear direct Nupsa.
Direct Nupsa, Scandinavian 29 Charlie.
Quick check of the charts. 4,000 Zivta, 3,500, that's fine. 2.6 for the highest peak, so still 1,000 above. Let's see. Into the cloud for the last time. There's terrain down below there, look.
192 X-ray, stand 7-3.
7-3, that's what I'm confused, thank you.
Red nose 20 Sierra.
B1B2, welcome on board.
Oxat 2 Charlie departure. Cleared 7,000
Full of flights, is VATSIM worth giving a go? If you can deal with the busyness, absolutely. Absolutely.
Clear to Copenhagen,
TCAS there for somebody.
Charlie departure, 12,000 feet, squawk 2142, red nose 200.
Red nose 20 Sierra, reback correct. Scan 216, runway 19 left, clear climb.
19 left, clear to land, Scandinavian 216.
Red nose 200, what's my departing runway?
The departure routing only works for one runway if you look on the charts, but it's 19 left.
I'm approach mode.
19 left, okay.
Scandinavian 786, turn left heading 220, KLS, runway 19 right.
220, KLS 19 right, Scandinavian 26.
Bit more cloud surfing.
Scandinavian 375,
Made it.
clear direct Barbat.
Racing pilot, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing. There's a setting inside the MCP.
1606,
on or above 10 degrees.
124, question 127, decimal 750.
Scan 1465, hold short Alpha 7, 19 right.
First crane star 1606, contact
Still got to do a bit
127,
of speed here.
750.
Roger, contacting Sweden 127, 150, bye-bye.
Scandinavian 1465, wind 180 rates, 18 knots, runway 19 right, clear for takeoff.
19 right, clear for takeoff, Scandinavian 1465.
2000, wait for radar check.
Station calling, radio 4.
Okay. We're going to be IMC for the reminder.
Descent 5,000 feet, connection 1001.
500101.
That's lock active.
Scan 375, connection 1001.
1001, 7075.
Scan 29 Charlie, direct Gigny.
Speed brake arms.
Direct Gigny, Scandinavian 29 Charlie.
Scandinavian 4417, cleared direct Bavad, expect LS 19
Right.
right.
CMD B on. Let's put ignition mode continuous through the clouds.
Scandinavian 216, speak at the Bravo
Flaps, we're going to start extending those.
Scandinavian 460, runway 19 left,
Flaps
clear
5, speed's good.
19 left, clear land, Scandinavian 460.
Scan 4417, just to verify, expect ILS, you're not cleared ILS yet.
Cleared ILS, is that runway on the right, 19 right, Scandinavian 4417?
Ops the clouds very low, David, yes,
ILS.
indeed.
Expect ILS, 19 right, you're not cleared yet.
Expect 19 right ILS, Scandinavian 4417.
Scandinavian 64 Papa established 19 left.
Oh, sure. Scandinavian 216, taxi stand 61 via Tango and Juliet.
Flaps 10, glide slopes alive, dimmies 10
thank you for the AC.
on the glides.
Scandinavian 375, direct Ududi, descent 4000.
Let's recycle this to 5 for missed approach. Set.
Scandinavian 375, direct Ududi, descent 4000.
Go gear down, flaps 15.
4000, cleared LS, runway 19 right, direct Ududi, Scandinavian 375.
Red Nose 20 Sierra, requesting push and start.
Red Nose 20 Sierra, push start route, QNH1001.
Pushback approved, connect 1001. Red Nose 20 Sierra.
That's 3 down and green. IMC again for the arrival.
Scandinavian 460, taxi stand. That is occupied now. Taxi stand 81 via Tango and Whiskey.
Tango and Whiskey, stand 81 to Canadian 460.
Scandinavian 64 Papa, wind 180 race, 18 knots, runway 19 left, clear climb.
That's 25. Good land, runway 19 left, Scandinavian 64 Papa.
Scandinavian 1465, identified, climb flight level 310, left turn to Oxat.
Climb flight level 310, left turn to Oxat.
Not sure where we're going to vacate here, probably Bravo 4. 6 DME. Let's settle down to 135 now. There's the ground below, we're just braking almost at the base of the cloud here. And we're now going to... What have we got? That's set, that's set, that's set. Flaps 30. Final stage of flaps.
Cleared direct to
Allows it to go for minimums.
Scandinavian 4417.
Osprey 722, expect LS approach runway 19 right.
Expect ILS runway 19 right, to Osprey 722.
Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee, expect LS 19 left.
1,000.
Expect ILS 19 left, Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee.
There's the approach lights just coming into view. Minimums coming up. Let's fly the ILS.
With 979 Polaris, hello. Cleared Rep Q2 Sierra arrival.
You set the alarm.
Look at the Sierra, we said 979.
Scandinavian 76, localizer 100 right.
Scandinavian 786, roger.
Auto throttle off. My throttle as well now.
USA 1630, radio 5. Scandinavian 4417, descend 7000 feet, QNH 1001.
Descend 7,000 feet, QNH 1001, Scandinavian 4417.
Cruise
outside the US4, requesting clearance to Evanet.
First EC72 Tango, clear direct to Echo Lima.
200.
Get direct to Echo Lima,
Continue.
EC72 Tango.
Minimums. 100. 50. Light slow. 20. 10.
Down.
Scandinavian 827, radio check.
First green. and decelerating. There's the touchdown rating, folks.
Break Grimstad 7284, clear to Evenes via Ribbe
365.
departure, cleared 7,000 feet, squawk 3617.
Okay, Bravo 5.
via Ribbe 6 Delta departure and climb up to 7,000 feet and squawk 3617.
Yeah, how often V1, V2 rotate are you going to do that though in a flight sim, realistically? I'd never do that.
Scandinavian A27 1019er Boeing 737 requesting IFR clearance for Amsterdam's
Right, nice little gentle roll off the runway.
Formation pop.
First 979, start descend now to flight level 120.
Flaps up. Pre-brake tracks.
Scandinavian 827 cleared to Amsterdam.
As required.
1 Charlie departure. Cleared 7,000 feet, squawk 5771.
Just might just move out of the way of this exit. Take a little creep off here.
Destination where the Victor 1 Charlie departure, initial 7,000 feet, squawking 5771.
Boss lights, strobe steady, taxi lights on.
Sky 27, correction, it's a Vippa 6 Delta departure.
The AP fired up. You know what I did forget? Wing and engine anti-ice again. Shows you how the workload goes up.
Roger, Vippa 6
And auto brake,
departure,
disengage.
squawking 5771, or Scandinavian 827.
Flaps are up.
Sky 27, reback correct. Osprey 722.
That felt like a nice 737 style touchdown. So, taxi lights are on APU, start bleed, transponders as required. It does add to the immersion, but in what sense though I kind of don't really understand, because well, it does if you want to open it on the taxi in.
786, runway 19 right, clear to land, wind 180 race, 19 knots.
But it is a flight sim.
One right, clear land,
yeah.
Scanner 375, you cleared LS 1 right.
LS 100, scan 375.
Scanner 2 Kilo Yankee, descend flight level 100.
Flight 100.
Vacate here, so we're out of the way of the runway.
EC72 Tango, contact Copenhagen 121 375, bye bye.
Contact Copenhagen 121 375, EC72 Tango, good day.
Oh yeah.
Walker 2108, no further to see, uniform 128.
1228, Water 2108, thank you very much, bye bye.
Scan 111465, contact Sweden, frequency 127.75.
The DC6 has them, has the windows. I rarely use them, and if I do, it's more out of a novelty.
Scan 1164 Papa, taxi stand 65 via Tango and Juliet.
165 Tango Juliet, Scandinavian 64 Papa, thanks. Tango Juliet, that's there, and then stands 65 on the charts. It's pointless me accelerating yet until I've actually found them. Okay, got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, for safety reasons, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Keep seat back and table upright. And leave cabin baggage in place until the fasten seatbelts on hand.
So this is the freeware Oslo Godderman scenery from flightsim.to, and it's actually created by Coca-Cola or Hergy1234, as he is on flightsim.to. Remarkable bit of scenery, and this one has an interior package which we're going to check out as well for the first time. Juliet coming up.
979, descend to 3,000 feet.
Full of flights. Well, ultimately, are you going to know the difference between the 700 and the 800? Let's get the power transferred across. Oops. Left on Juliet.
Scanner 729 Charlie, no further to see, Unicom 1228, hello?
128, Scandinavian.
Yeah, the BP jet, the Boeing Business Jet 2 is based on the 800. Sergeant Lobster, it's the Luke Air Tool on flightsim.to or lukeairtool.net, I think their website is. We've got to check out some of this. And by the way, there is a stand here. I think it's 4648 actually, roughly here. There's an Osprey Airways gate for us, which is rather cool.
Cleared 7,000 feet, squawk 1714.
65, that's literally straight ahead.
1630.
Bit of power. Yes, Doc, thank you.
Break, Scandinavian 786, taxis down to
Good shout.
4 via Hotel and Yankee.
And gens are on for a minute, so let's whack lead on for the APU.
Line is very good afternoon, Callahan.
Repeat off, thank you.
Level, please.
Getting sidetracked.
First Scandinavian 4417, descend 4000 feet, KLS 19 right.
Nice master caution. It's fine, that's because we just turned the probe heats off.
Scandinavian 4417.
Osprey 722.
We're going uphill.
Speed 220 knots.
Clear direct duty. Speed 220.
Oh, that's the sim update 8 click bug thing.
KLM 1151.
Mister, interesting. Maybe check without the scenery then, the MK Studios scenery.
Turn right heading 100, speed 220 knots.
Right heading 100.
So, those of you with the PMDG 737 so far, we've had it for almost 24 hours roughly, maybe so you might have had it for a little bit less time. If you could sum up in one word, or 2 words, what your thoughts are of the PMDG 737 700 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, how would you describe it? Pop your answer into the live chat. Be interesting to see in 1 or 2 words how you would describe the aeroplane in your own experience. "65. We go. Taxi lights off.
Visa 979 via Unvid KLS runway 18.
Oh, look at that, we've got VDGS. It says A320 though, RIP. Check, welcome. Severi, amazing to fly. Redmaster, good. James says awesome. Hello, James. George, promising.
Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee, descend.
We can't use that, so 6 meters still.
QNH1001.
Descend 7000, QNH 1001, Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee.
Osprey 722, descend 4000 feet.
Descend 4000 feet, Osprey 722.
Part brake set. Beta says great. BKG Blue Flares says lovely detail. Samyang goes for the best airliner. Absolutely. It is lovely, isn't it? It's so good. Nick Nat would describe it, but he's waiting patiently for the 800. I'm sure you won't be disappointed when that does come. Shutdown checks then. Part brake is on and APU set. We're going to check the generators. And the fuel control levers go to the off position. 1 and 2. Watching the engines spool down. Yeah, we've lost the engines there now. Looks fantastic sitting at the gate, Kevin says. His experience so far. Anti-collision lights off. Ground equipment in position so we can add the chocks and everything else.
Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee, turn right heading 130, descend 6000 feet.
Right heading 130, descend 6000, Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee.
And the fuel pumps can go as required, so we can pop all of these 3 off.
Scandinavian 4417, fully established.
Make sure the isolation valve is open.
4417.
Engine bleeds 1 and 2 can go off. Flight directors go off.
180.269, wind 180 reach, 19 knots, runway 19 right, clear to land.
There we go.
Clear to land.
PMDG nailed it with a 737. Sledge says there's the jetty, by the way, it's just gone out.
180 knots for grade 226.
Beautiful.
180 grade to 6 miles.
BKG Blueface says I won't be in the Club Hawaii for a while. Where is... Where's the runway? It's all over there, isn't it?
Kilo Yankee, clear direct Ospat, descend 4000, clear LS 19 left.
So up here somewhere in the pea soup,
Direct Ospat, descend
there's the runway.
Cleared ILS 19 left.
We're going to see John appear in a minute.
Osprey
maybe later, Christopher.
200, clear LS 19 right.
Speed 200.
Sam Yar's waiting for the EFB, that'd be cool. Aaron Tink says very expensive, especially for Asia. Well, the Mad Dog's even more money, even more expensive, and less detailed. Less complete, I should say.
KLM 1151, clear the Reapan for Mike arrival.
Reapan for Mike arrival for KLM 1151.
I think I'm flying the GC tonight, basically the opposite of the 737. Where is he? He's going to pop out any minute.
Yankee speed 210 knots or less.
210.
Yeah, he's not touched down yet. So we're going to explore the interior of this new scenery. It's just been updated the last couple of days by Hergy on flightsim.to. The links for this are in the description down below.
Can I get the clearance to Copenhagen? My team just crashed, so yeah.
Rednose 200, clear Copenhagen, Oxat 2 Charlie departure, cleared 7,000 feet, squawk 2142.
Actually, was he given...
Clear Copenhagen, Oxa 2 Charlie departure, climb 7,000 feet, squawk 2142, Rednose 200.
I don't know what runway he got given.
Correct.
Consequator, no, sadly not.
Green Star 7284.
Green Star 7284, taxi Kilo, November, turning point 1 mile right.
Kilo November.
Sadly not. I think you're going to be
7284.
maybe waiting for...
Close control, Osprey 722 established on the ILS 19 right.
19 right.
Osprey 722, roger, number 2.
Number 2, Osprey 722.
Got to be looking over here now.
205, clear like
There he is. Right in the distance. This is John's first ever landing in the PMDG 737. And it looks like he's about to go around. Oh, no. Going for it.
Windsor 1630, request present start.
Scandinavian 4417, going around.
Ah, he's going around. Love it.
4417, roger. Windsor 1630, pitch to approach, QNH 1001.
Exciting. Back into the P-soup he goes. We're going to drift down now. Stick, you're most welcome. Let's go and explore this scenery. Look at this. This looks so good, doesn't it?
Scandinavian 4417, stand limit approach to 5,000 feet.
Scandinavian approach 5,000 feet, Scandinavian 441.
How's that for a screenshot, folks? Dive, Kevin. It reminds me of, what was the airport where we had that?
Wind 180, 19 knots, runway 19, right clear to land.
19 right, clear to land, Osprey 722.
We'll see if we can catch the Osprey on the way in as well. There's the flyer signs. There we are. It's got a nice posh interior, this.
Wind 190, 20 knots, runway 19
Peekaboo.
Scandinavian 4417, turn right heading 350.
Right heading 350, Scandinavian 4417.
Wow. Alicante, look, a little idea for a route. SK4675 there. Jurassic, no worries, buddy. Wow, look at this. My god, this is freeware. What do you guys think of this? Oh, incredible. I've not had an issue with performance at all with it. Oop. Through the roof by accident.
Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee, could we get a wind check?
2 Kilo Yankee, wind 190, race 19
We'll bust out, see if we can spot the Osprey that's about to land.
Thank you, 19 miles clear to land, Scandinavian 2 Kilo Yankee.
Sky 4417, heading 350, please. You're conflicting with inbound traffic.
350, Scandinavian 4417.
Kevin, indeed, this is freeware. In fact, it's Coco Lada in our Discord server is the creator of this. Look at that. Oslo needed a fantastic scenery. There's a whole load of jetties over there with advertisement boards. That's where our Osprey gate is as well, for those of you who like to fly Osprey Airways. We've got our own dedicated gate in the scenery down in that section of the airfield. Go and find that too. It's nice to see. Once we've spotted the arrival. I think we've got an Osprey on the way in. MPS Gaming, fantastic, you got your 737. Wonderful, there he is, breaking through the cloud. Wow. That's a very low cloud base now. 300 likes, folks. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. There's a Flyer 737 down there.
Sorry, it's the last station calling. Oh, you're not. Oh, I see you now. I will be closing shortly, so you just continue and come on to the right.
Copy, we'll continue on.
There's the touchdown zone.
4211.
Just about seeing through the haze. Ah, beautiful touchdown. Look at that.
200.
Good work.
Closing shortly, so you can come on to right.
Right, let's transition all the way through the airfield, through the airport, go down to the Osprey gate, shall we? Bust through the departures terminal. Redmaster's about to land in Oslo from Edinburgh, 19er left.
Scanner 4177, are you able to proceed to Bavad for new approach?
Bust through some walls.
Direct to Bavad for
look at this. So smart.
The question is, scan 4417 Roger. Route Bavad, via Bavad, clear LS 19 right.
Cleared LS 19 right.
How spectacular is this? Somebody said they always like watching us zoom about. There we go, here's our gate. Look at that.
You're not conflicting with any inbound traffic for 19.
How incredible is that? There's our gate, front and centre. Beautiful. It stands 48 for anybody who wants it. Redmaster said he's about to touch down.
Switching off to Unicom 122.8. Traffic. There's no traffic on final for 19 right.
Unicom 122.8. Confirm and bye bye.
Osprey 722, taxi November, Kilo, stand 13, and Unicom 122.8.
Taxi November, Kilo, stand 13. I'm over Unicom 122.8. Thanks.
Nice ship, no worries, buddy. Thank you very much. Doc, yeah, it's a great time to try auto land.
4417, switch Unicom 122.8. There's no traffic in the vicinity for the ILSs. There's one.
How is the frame rate with the scenery?
Right now,
30 to 35. Actually, I'll probably say it's about 33 to 35.
I'm cleared for the ILS approach. Scandinavian 4417.
4417, affirm, but Polaris is now closing, so Unicom 122.8. There's no traffic inbound Gardermoen. There's one traffic departing 19.
That's Breadmaster.
Affirmative, thanks for that, and thanks for the service, Scandinavian 4417.
KLM 1151, Polaris closing, Unicom 128.
122.8, 115,
And all stations on the frequency. Polaris control is now closing. Continue with Unicom 122.8.
Thank you very much for the ATC. Good day.
Tack for den service, how do we go?
30 to 35 is very good. Bear in mind this has also got the additional interior package that you can now download with the freeware scenery too. We need the old school livery, don't we? The SAS, look at that. Oh, he's showing off. Silky smooth. There we have it, folks. 2 legs, Bodø to Simulations fantastic Tromsø, and we've just finished at this remarkably spectacular freeware Oslo Gardermoen ENGM scenery, which is available on flightsim.to. And we've done 2 sectors with the fantastic PMDG 737, which is out now for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And there she is, as our aircraft for the day. I hope you've all really enjoyed it. Thank you very much to everybody who flew along either of the sectors or both. And Gav for your super chat a little earlier on as well. Really generous of you. Dudu, Mike, welcome on board as channel members. It's great to have you with us. Be sure to link your Discord account with your YouTube and it will get you access automatically into the Club Lounge members area inside our Discord server. And a very warm welcome to everybody who has hit the subscribe button today too. If you've not done that already, please do click the button and don't forget to give the live stream a like today as well. I'm going to start planning the next one, so do keep your eye out on the channel and see what I can come up with. But in the meantime, thank you very much to everybody for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thanks to everybody who flew along. Thanks to our ATC, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.